non-conference wins in a single day.
Fakes, turning, breaks the tackle, an incredible play.
The action fake, Davis throws the pass, end zone, caught, touchdown, what a throw!
Today, the ACC once again looks to flex its muscle as the action begins at Bobby Dodd Stadium, where the Ramblin' Wreck of Georgia Tech face the Eagles at Georgia Southern in the first ever meeting between the intrastate rivals. Here come the Ramblin' Wreck from Georgia Tech. Welcome to Midtown Atlanta for ACC football. The Georgia Bulldogs are in Columbia. The Falcons are on the road in Cincinnati. And the Braves are in Texas. This is the game in Georgia. Legendary head coach Bobby Dodd. A sellout crowd is expected here at Bobby Dodd Stadium for the first ever meeting between Georgia Southern and Georgia Tech. Hi, everyone. Matt Devlin alongside the former head coach of Wake Forest, Jim Grobe. Certainly glad to have you along with us. Well, you look at Georgia Tech, their final tune-up before they head up to Blacksburg to take on the Hokies next week. And for Georgia Southern, coach, just 2 weeks ago, up in Raleigh, they lost by 1 to the Wolfpack.
Yeah, Matt, you know, we talked to Paul Johnson yesterday, and he's not seeing this game as a tune-up. He knows he's in for a battle today against Georgia Southern.
Well, finally, these two teams meet, Georgia Southern and Georgia Tech. Paul Johnson led Georgia Southern to 2 national titles.
That's a game that we really tried to get when I was at Georgia Southern to play Georgia Tech, and we couldn't make it happen. And now that they've got it on the schedule, I'm sure they're going to be excited to come into Bobby Dodd and play. And we need to match their intensity and enthusiasm because it's going to be a big game for them, I'm sure.
Well, we're all excited. Let's bring in the third member of our broadcast crew, Hans Heiser. Hans?
Well, the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets, year after year under Paul Johnson, this triple option attack, they rely on their running game. This season, no different. Let's take a look at our Hardy stars to watch today. How about this? A 6-headed monster at the B-back, A-back, and quarterback position. These guys are all league averaging over 5.7 yards per carry, and that's a big reason why the Jackets are second in the nation at third down conversion. Jim, Matt, that's going to be a key stat to look at today as Georgia Tech looks to move to 3-0.
No question about it, Hans. All right, let's take a look at our 4 keys to success for each team. We begin with Georgia Tech, Coach.
Paul Johnson's really concerned about a fast start today. They started very slowly in their first 2 games, finished great in the second half, but they got to play 4 quarters today, and they got to maximize possessions. These are 2 running football teams, Matt, and there may not be but 8 or 9 possessions apiece, so they got to take advantage of possessions.
Paul Johnson looks across the field. Willie Fritz, his first season at the helm of Georgia Southern, and their keys to success.
They got to throw the football well. When you're in the shotgun, your quarterback keep throwing the ball, and they got to play 60 minutes. I thought their defense gassed out a little bit against NC State in the opener. They're going to have to play all 60 today.
Georgia Southern won the toss. They deferred to the second half. Younghoe Koo will kick off here on this hot and humid Saturday in Midtown Atlanta. Jamal Golden is back. Last week at Tulane, he returned 2 kickoffs for 51 yards. And the Ramblin' Wreck get off to a quick start, and this one will go through the end zone. Let's take a look at our Toyota Impact players for Georgia Tech on offense, Coach.
Yeah, I think the guy who gets it all started, Matt, on offense for the Yellow Jackets is sophomore quarterback Justin Thomas. He averages 6 yards per carry and threw for 282 against Wofford.
Justin Thomas, the sophomore from Prattville, Alabama. On the season, 14 of 23, 2 touchdowns and an interception. You talked to Paul Johnson. Why have they struggled early on? Thomas, a fumble. First play from scrimmage last week down in New Orleans, and a handoff here. Getting to the outside, Charles Perkins. Perkins down the sideline at the 20. Perkins all the way inside the 15 before Antoine Williams knocks him out of bounds, and a big play right off the bat. The quick start, Coach, that they were looking for.
Yeah, misdirection. They got a little misdirection out of their running game. I know Georgia Southern's looking for full flow stuff. This is a great way to open the half.
Yeah, Coach Johnson telling us yesterday, a 60-yard pickup, that he really felt as though a week ago it was the inexperience and the youth. First road trip for 29 to 30 of his players. Thomas under center. Then they'll give to the near side.
Similar play back up underneath.
And Tony Zenon, the ball carrier.
Paul likes his slot backs. He says he'll play 6 of them today.
The CPI security red zone numbers look like this. 12 opportunities, 8 touchdowns, Coach, and 1 field goal.
Yeah, this is a touchdown machine in the red zone, Matt.
Thomas. Thomas right into the end zone for Georgia Tech. 8-yard run. Justin Thomas turns it up, and that is an impressive start for the Ramblin' Wreck from Georgia Tech.
Absolutely, Matt. I know that's what Paul was looking for. Watch him follow his fullback. For all intents and purposes, that's a lead sweep right there with Zach Lasky leading the way.
Point after touchdown.
Harrison Bunker, a perfect 10 of 10 on the season. How about this? 3 plays, 75 yards, 1 minute, 15 seconds. Capped off by Justin Thomas in the end zone for Tech. It's in Coach Willie Fritz's team didn't even have time to settle in here on this Saturday.
Yeah, I think they've got to answer, but they're okay. They just got to go a play at a time. They don't need to get too much in one chunk. Here's the play on the goal line. It's so good. They're running the double option, and watch this guy right here. This guy is Zach Lasky, the big fullback. They're running double option with him as the lead blocker. Watch this great block. Getting a defender on the ground. It gives the quarterback the inside or the pitch. He cuts up underneath and scores. Great block by Zach Lasky, the fullback.
Lasky with the big block there, the senior from Peachtree City, Georgia, at a Stars Mill High School. 6'1", 217 in his team. Up 7-0 here. Derek Keaton and Kelton Elvine are back. Butker, the kickoff, and this one will spin out of bounds, and the flag is down.
You know, Ted Roof didn't want to start here on defense.
Free kick out of bounds on the kicking team. Ball will be placed at the 35-yard line. First down.
Take a look at our Toyota Impact players. Georgia Southern, they're led by their quarterback, Kevin Ellison, Coach.
Yeah, the trigger man for Georgia Southern, sophomore quarterback Kevin Ellison. Kevin averages 5.6 yards per carry.
Ellison, a sophomore. Govan, the tight end, in motion. Ellison gives it to Matt Breida, and Breida right through the middle. The Toyota Impact players on defense for Georgia Tech.
Yeah, the guy who stirs it up for Georgia Tech and gets them going is 6'5", 280-pound defensive tackle Adam Gotsis. 16 consecutive starts, one of the best defensive linemen in the Atlantic Coast Conference.
The junior from Abbotsford, Australia. Here's Ellison out on the edge. Fakes. Ellison spinning around. And he's going to pick up 3 yards. And Keyshawn Freeman, a true freshman, getting the start. He enrolled early in January. They're really impressed with Freeman.
Yeah, loading the edge there, giving the quarterback an inside running lane. Good tackle. Really good, solid tackle.
Talked to defensive coordinator Ted Roof yesterday. Talked about Freeman's burst. Out of the gun. The pitch to the outside. Zach Walker on the carry, and Walker.
Interesting situation for Georgia Southern, Matt.
Looks like he's going to. It's 4th and 1. Less than 1, and he's going to bring out his punter, Ryan Nowicki. Ryan Nowicki, a transfer from Ole Miss, the high school teammate of Zach Lasky. He's got a big leg. This one inside the 20, and a fair catch. Jamal Golden calls a fair catch. 40-yard punt, 7-0. Here come the Ramblin' Wreck from Georgia Tech. All is brought to you by Synovus, the Bank of Here, by Toyota, and by Captain D's. 7-0. Georgia Tech. First down and 10 from the 16. Justin Thomas, you see his numbers. First series, 3 plays, 75 yards. Took a minute and 15. Thomas back to throw, deflected, and out of bounds, incomplete. Pass broken up by Antoine Williams.
It's a good time to do it, Matt. A little play action pass. Expecting Georgia Southern to be looking for the run. I think this is something Justin Thomas does really, really well. They got a hand on the ball. This is something that'll make them more effective if he can complete some passes.
He's got a couple of big weapons out there, and Smelter and Waller is back from suspension. Thomas on a keeper, getting to the outside, and he is forced out of bounds by Wright.
Same play, Matt, is down on the goal line, a double option with the lead blocker.
22-yard pickup, Coach.
Yes, sir. Getting out on the perimeter. What we talked about with both programs, they got to be good open field tacklers today. You got to make tackles in the open field.
And this is an offense that, although Georgia Southern doesn't run it now, of course, Paul Johnson implemented it back in 1985, and a give to Lasky to the outside, and he's going to grind out 4, and a flag is on the play. But you don't see it every day in practice, although many of the Eagles defenders have seen it dating back to last year and years prior.
There is no foul on the play. Second down.
It's a little bit different, though, Matt, because they got to go back to it. And, recall is not something that's easy in this offense. The speed of the game is so much greater on Saturday.
First quarter action from the 43-yard line. 2nd and 6. Thomas. A pitch to the outside, and Dion Hill is going to have the first down and more. Let's take a look at our Toyota impact players on defense for Georgia Southern.
The leader of this Georgia Southern defense, senior middle linebacker Edwin Jackson. This guy's 6 foot, 230 pounds. He's a physical presence inside, and this guy leads the team in tackles. He's the guy that makes their defense go.
Well, a personal foul called on Edwin Jackson, the senior from Westlake High School here in Atlanta. And a referee, Dwayne Haight, out of bounds.
Too late.
Yep.
Got to pull off. Got to pull off. You want to be aggressive, you want to be physical, got to be smart.
Inside the Eagle 35, and Thomas, a handoff. Lasky grinding it out, and Lasky is brought down by Jackson, as well as Jay Ellison from Hamilton, Georgia, and a gain of 6.
Great compliment, Matt, to their lead option play. They run the belly there to the fullback, Zach Lasky, and then they'll roll out and let him be the lead blocker and let Justin Thomas follow him. It's a great compliment.
It's going to bring up now 2nd and 4 for the Yellow Jackets. Thomas on a pitch to the outside, and Charles Perkins is going to be able to pick up one, maybe two.
Great job by the Georgia Southern defense reacting to the counter. They're trying to keep them away from the flow. Antonio Glover comes up, supports it in a hurry. Really had nothing. Justin Thomas had nothing to do, Matt. He had to either keep it or pitch the football, tried to get a little bit out of the pitch.
3rd and 3 for Georgia Tech. Check out the yards per play, 16 and a half. They have been very effective on 3rd down, and look at Thomas weaving his way through the Eagle defense. One of the better teams on 3rd down conversions in the nation, second behind Texas State, Coach.
Yeah, great call by Paul Johnson. I love the quarterback draw here. The defense may be expecting to throw down here. Give him a little throw action, a little drop back action, run the draw. Great call by Paul Johnson.
Pickup of 11 yards last week at Tulane as they opened up Yeoman Stadium. Georgia Tech 10 of 12. Lasky straight ahead, spun around as Jackson lays the big hit on him. They were 10 of 12 on 3rd down.
Good tough runner, Matt. I wouldn't be surprised to see Zach Lasky break a couple of those today. He's got better speed than people think.
Jackson losing the helmet. Got to come off the play. There's that big hit. Lasky coming into the game is just 162 yards shy of 1,500 in his career, Coach.
Yeah, 30. He's 30th on their all-time rushing list, and he'll move up the charts quite a bit this year.
3 carries, 15 yards here today. And we're just underway. Thomas on a keeper trying to bounce it outside, and a good job by Jonathan Battle there of containing him.
Absolutely. This is a guy, the thing they're trying to get, Matt, they're trying to get back against the grain with a little bit of misdirection, and Georgia Southern has really played that well. See, Justin Thomas faked to Zach Lasky. He's trying to get back up in the crease there. But Georgia Southern wasn't having any of it.
The inside
Great
guys.
play by Jonathan Battle down inside, being really physical and getting off blocks.
They're key.
You know, there's a lot. We talked a little bit, Matt, about the size of Georgia Tech's offensive line and the size of Georgia Southern's defensive line being a little bit undersized. But in reality, that quickness is going to help them today. Darius
Jones is down in the end zone for Georgia Southern. Number 5 right there. And the block by DeAndre Smelter.
Yeah, really tough. You know, when you play Georgia Tech, you play Georgia Southern, they're going to block you low. And when you're getting a low block, don't turn away from it. You know, stay squared up, get your hands on the blocker, play the blocker first. You know, so many times the kids want to go make the play before they've defeated the block. You got to defeat the block first, then go make the play.
That's also key when you look at the interior line for the defense. And we saw that with Battle there.
No question. Absolutely. Did a great job with his hands getting off the block. And that'll be a key today because both Georgia Southern and Georgia Tech are going to try to get each other on the ground, and they got to use their hands, defend their body, chase the football.
Well, Darius Jones is okay out of Woodruff, South Carolina, and a sophomore. And assisted off of the field. Paul Johnson won a total of 4 national titles. At that time, Division I AA. Of course, now FCS. At Georgia Southern, first as an offensive coordinator for legendary Irk Russell, and then as the head coach there. Thomas under center. Thomas back to throw, looks, finds Lasky. Lasky into the end zone, touchdown. Georgia Tech. Out of the backfield, 12-yard touchdown reception.
Great play by Zach Lasky. Matt, you know, talking to Paul Johnson yesterday, he said the one thing people don't realize about Zach Lasky, he's got a little better speed than you think. And here he catches the flat pass and gets it in the corner of the end zone.
We talked to Justin Thomas yesterday as well as Zach Lasky, and it was interesting as Butker sends it right through. What did Justin Thomas tell us about Lasky? He said, I'm so comfortable with him. He said, even when I make the wrong read, he'll make it right.
Yeah, absolutely.
That was the right read right there. The touchdown for Georgia Tech. Impressive drive once again. 10 plays, 84 yards, 4 minutes and 16 seconds, Coach.
Yeah, really impressive play design, Matt. I love what they did here. They took the slot back and they cleared him. And you'll watch the defensive back turn and run with him, and that puts the outside backer on Zach Lasky, and there's just not enough time for him to cover him. He gets outrun to the flat. Well-designed play. Well-designed play.
Lasky, his third touchdown overall in the season. Keaton and Elvine back, and Butker kicks it off. And it is taken at the 1-yard line by Keaton. Keaton charging ahead and just shy of the 30. And so much concern for Georgia Tech with the way that they have started games, but they have certainly turned the tide here. First series, second series.
Yeah,
as you see,
lot of speed for Georgia Southern. Watch, he kind of gets caught up behind his own man. Kind of slows him down a little bit. A lot of speed on this Georgia Southern football team.
Through the first 2 games, Coach, Georgia Tech outscored in the first quarter a combined 17-14. Of course, at home against Wofford, Breida straight ahead, and Gonzalez is right there to drag him down.
The defensive tackle makes a play. That was a point of emphasis for Georgia Tech this week. They've started slowly in their first 2. They're not starting slowly today.
At home against Wofford in week 1, at the half it was 10-9. Last week, Georgia Tech traveled to Tulane to open up Yeoman Stadium. As the Green Wave have football back on campus. Ellison out of the gun. Ellison trying to make a read, now fires it downfield. He was in a heap of trouble, Coach.
Yeah, he couldn't set his feet, Matt. He wanted to do the play-action throw. You know, Georgia Southern's struggling right now to find something against this Georgia Tech defense.
Pass intended for B.J. Johnson.
That's a good run fake. Hard to tell there. He maybe wanted to run with it, couldn't find a crease.
Great pressure that time by the true freshman, Keyshawn Freeman.
And they're going to have to do it without blitzing, Matt. We talked about that earlier. They're going to have to read run first and then get to the quarterback.
6:55 left here in the opening quarter. 3rd and 7. And a quick pitch to the outside. Breida gets outside. Breida with a long run at the 20. Down to the 10 on 3rd and 7. Georgia Southern comes through.
Yeah, Matt Breida, Matt, one of the fastest players on Georgia Southern's football team, a track guy. When they can get the ball in his hands, they've got a shot. And that's the thing you got to look for. Make sure that these guys, whilst running the speed option, gets it out there, really becomes a quick pitch as much as anything. And what you got pursuit inside out, but Matt Breida's speed, he's just got too much speed. He's going to get through the crease and outrun those guys right there. Great play by Matt Breida. Great call by Georgia Southern.
He had a 61-yard run at North Carolina State in the first quarter. He tops that with a 69-yard run there.
That will be
Alice Hanks with the extra point, and it's 14-7.
That'll be a great confidence builder, Matt. I think Georgia Southern's back in it again in a hurry. One of the things we talked about on 3rd down with these guys, whether it's Georgia Tech or Georgia Southern, you can't rely on it being a throw on 3rd and long. It's very likely to be some type of a run on 3rd down.
Coming up next, the Kansas Jayhawks travel to Durham to take on the defending ACC Coastal Division champion Duke Blue Devils. Stay tuned for the great voice of West Durham and James Bates. He'll bring you all the action from Tobacco Road. David Cutcliffe, what a great job he's done there at Duke.
Absolutely. Nobody in the country's doing a better job than David Cutcliffe. And the nice thing about Coach Cutcliffe is I think they want to get better. They don't want to just be in the championship once in a while. They want to make it a yearly thing, and just done a great job building that football program, doing a great job being patient, took his lumps early, and now he's got a football team that not only has ability, but they got some depth, and probably no better coaching job in the country than what he's doing at Duke.
Blue Devils have won 5 straight at home, 8 straight non-conference games. Reed, a career-long run, 69 yards, and the Georgia Southern faithful are confident once again. Broderick Snoddy back deep for Georgia Tech. One-way coup to kick off. A chance here for Snoddy. He'll take it at the 2. Snoddy looks to get to the far side. Now cuts it back up. No seam, no place to go as the Eagles wrap them up. And a pickup of 13 as we take a look here, Coach, at that touchdown.
Yeah, he gets it pitched really quick, Matt. It's a little speed option. It's designed for the quarterback or the running back to take the football, double option. He gets down the line of scrimmage, but what a quick pitch. He knew he had his speed guy to get the football to.
Georgia Southern, a couple weeks back against North Carolina State, came out strong and faded late as the Wolfpack came back in the 4th quarter. And then last week against Savannah State, they put up all sorts of big-time numbers, school records, in fact. And it gave to Lasky, and Lasky's going to keep driving those legs before he's finally hauled down. Jay Ellison and Matt Dobson right there, along with Gallen.
Zach Lasky, you don't realize that, when you watch him run the football, you don't realize how easily he gains 5 and 6 yards. It doesn't look like a whole lot, and then you look up and it's 2nd and 4.
That's what Justin Thomas was telling us. He said, look, at the very least, we know he can grind it out for 3-4 yards. It's going to be 2nd down now and 4. That was a pickup of 6. Thomas has it. He decides to keep it himself, and he's wrapped up and brought down, but he quickly picks up a 1st down. Ellison once again right there, and Dobson in a gain of 8. He is so dynamic, is Justin Thomas.
He really is. He's another kid with great foot speed. He's a guy that if you give him a crease, he can go to the house, and I like the way they're using Zach Lasky to block for him, Matt. He's really doing a good job, not just running the football, but he's somebody that really does a nice job blocking on the perimeter for Justin Thomas.
Paul Johnson in his 7th season here. He has done an outstanding job. Lasky straight up the middle.
Good positive play. You know what happens when you get a guy like Lasky running up inside like that? Doesn't look like much early sometimes, but it wears on the defense. It's a physical, tough downhill runner that you got to really bring it to get him down.
Chamberlain, Braun, Burden, Mason, Griffin, all up front for Georgia Tech. Thomas. He's going to check. 2nd down now. Thomas keeping it. Thomas close to a 1st down before he is brought down by Antonio Glover as well as Matt Dobson. 3rd tackle for Glover.
A little bit of triple option here. Matt decides to pull it. Probably wishes he'd cut the ball up inside, but that's the good thing. He's got a 2-way go.
At Douglas County High School. And just grinding it out for a 1st down on 3rd down, as I mentioned. In the country, Texas State 1. Georgia Tech is 2nd. Auburn 3rd. Texas A&M 4th. And Indiana 5th. On 3rd down conversions.
Offensive line gave him that 1st down. Just a little quarterback keeper started with it and cut it back up underneath. And I thought the offensive line got good push to let Justin fall forward.
St. John Days is in. They're 3 for 3 on the day on 3rd downs. Thomas And the flag is down as Williams grabbed him up high around the shoulder pad there in the collar. Dragged him down.
Personal foul. Horse collar on the defense. Number 93. 15-yard penalty on the end of the run. First down.
It's a tough one, Matt, right here. I think, you're almost in the tackle box right there. The defensive lineman just trying to get a hold of you.
Just trying to grab
it's one
a little bit of cloth right there.
It's one of those things where you want to protect the player, but, just a tough call for that defensive lineman.
And a couple of tough calls on Georgia Southern as far as penalties are concerned. A little bit of self-inflicted there. And Thomas once again, and they're seeing something out there on that side, and Glover comes up and makes the play.
Yeah, that belly option, the little double option keep following his big fullback. That's been money the whole first quarter. Georgia Southern's going to have to play it a little bit better. That's been a bread and butter play for them early, Matt.
2nd and 1 now. Pickup of 9 on the play. Yards per play. And, of course, that run by Georgia Southern really turned it there. Thomas. A pitch now to the outside, and he gives it to Dennis Andrews. Andrews getting to the outside. A flag is down, Coach.
Talking about an unselfish guy. We talked to him yesterday, Matt, and I think Paul feels like sometimes he needs to hang on to the football and keep it and go with it, but he wants to distribute it to his buddies.
They're going to pick up that flag. And the pitch to Andrews, who was suspended the first 2 games for violating Georgia Tech student athlete code of conduct. His first game back, a pickup of 15 for the sophomore from Tallahassee, Florida. And a give to St. John Days. Days, a former quarterback, A-back, and now settling in at B-back as Antoine Williams makes the tackle.
We saw him yesterday. What a good-looking kid he is. He's a guy doesn't have the experience at the B-back position, but I think Coach Johnson and the staff feel like he could be a real fine player inside.
2nd and 5 now for the Jackets. Days in the backfield. Thomas on a give to Days. Days spinning, moving those feet and dragging battle with it along with Bernard Dawson. And Dawson, the sophomore from Thompson, Georgia. And Paul Johnson with some words of wisdom for Thomas.
St. John Days, 6'2", 231. He's a load going up in there. He's got great body lean, keeps his feet moving, pushes the foul back, gives him a first down.
Their 12th first down. Pickup of 11 plays, 78 yards. Waller, the wide receiver at the bottom of your screen. Up top, it's Smelter. Thomas turns a corner and a big hit that time.
Thomas on the carry.
Big time hit by Williams. Once again, he has been in on the action from Lovejoy, Georgia.
After a game,
really physical tackle here. I love what they're doing. The lead action with the fullback. And I like the attitude Justin Thomas has. He's not a real big guy. His strength is foot speed, but he knows where the goal line is, and he tried to get north, took a pretty good lick, and he's still going. Tough kid.
Leon Hill in, B.J. Bostic along with Days. Smelter up top, the pitch to the outside. Hill turns it back inside, and he's going to be just shy of the goal line.
Leon Hill with the carry.
And that is going to be the final play of the first quarter. Some electrifying plays here at Bobby Dodd Stadium on this Saturday in September. The first ever ACC football is brought to you by the official corporate champions of the ACC, AT&T, Geico, Ruby Tuesday, and by New York Life Insurance Company. 3rd 15th play of the drive coming up here as we begin the second quarter. 14-7. Yellow Jackets over the Eagles.
Matt, first quarter, Georgia Tech controlled the ball for 12 minutes and 14 seconds. Georgia Southern only had it for a little under 3 minutes. And that's what we worry a little bit about this Georgia Southern defense being on the field too long.
Tim Byerly in at quarterback. Byerly on a keeper trying to reach out for the goal line of the pile of Eagles trying to push him back.
I would think you'll expect Georgia Tech to go for it down here. They like touchdowns.
It's going to be 4th down, and the surge up front, coach, by Georgia Southern, and Edwin Jackson comes in there with a nice pop.
Yeah, great defensive effort, getting penetration up front. Georgia Tech likes to follow that fullback with the quarterback down on the goal line.
Tony Zenin checks in, Days in the backfield. Byerly on a keeper. Byerly in for a touchdown. Touchdown, Georgia Tech.
You know, Matt, you're talking about just a half a yard right there. Just with a little bit offensive line search, they ought to be able to do that.
His 3rd rushing touchdown of the season. Had 2 last week against the Green Wave of Tulane and Curtis Johnson's team.
212 pounds. That's a big quarterback right there. Reminds you a little bit of Josh Nesbitt down there.
Transfer. Dennis Redding, the replay official, reviewing it. Byerly is definitely in. The transfer from Middle Tennessee State up in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Native of Alpharetta, Georgia.
Shows you what their mentality is. They really want to get north-south.
Touchdown for the Yellow Jackets. Butker on for the extra point. .213 total yards for Georgia Tech. 21-7. Georgia Tech over Georgia Southern now, Coach.
Paul's got to feel really good about the start. That was his concern. And I think the thing that's very impressive is the way they've had their drives. They really haven't had home runs. If you look at the difference here, 213 total yards to 81. And if you look at the 81 yards, remember now, that was 60 yards of Matt Breida on a sprint to the goal line. So Georgia Southern's going to have a little bit of ball control. I really worry about Georgia Southern's defense being on the field too long. They're going to have to get a break from the offense. A little ball control from Georgia Southern now.
Our Hyundai game summary here at Bobby Dodd Stadium at historic Grant Field. Keaton and Elvine back. Harrison Butker from Decatur, Georgia. The kickoff.
For Georgia Tech. Back deep for Georgia
standing at the goal line, Keaton and Elvine. Impressive first half thus far for Georgia Tech, and so much concern with how they've started teams. In the second half, they've outscored opponents 42-10. 2-touchdown lead here. Butker, and this one is going to go to Keaton, and he's going to take a knee, Coach.
Yeah, much better kick. You know, first one went out of bounds. I'm sure Ted wasn't happy about that, but it'd be good to get Georgia Southern back out and see if they can have a little bit of ball control. You know, you talk about Georgia Tech being a great second half team. Really frightens you when you know they had the ball for over 12 minutes in the first quarter. If you're a Georgia Southern fan, sorry.
Let's send it down to Hans Heiser with an injury update. Hans?
Saw that play in the end zone, got rolled up by a Tech receiver. Number 5, Darius Jones, defensive back for the Georgia Southern Eagles. Right knee, he is out for the games. He is out of pads and in a lot of pain. We wish him the best.
And there's Darius Jones. Fabian Upshaw in at quarterback. Upshaw on a keeper. Gets outside, and Isaiah Johnson, who was slowed last week, didn't play because of a hamstring injury. He was limited all week. Comes up and makes a stop. You see Fabian Upshaw and the numbers there. Upshaw stays in, and here they go. Second down now and 5. Upshaw changes it up. Ramsby is the running back. Alongside and a give. Ramsby. And he is slowed in the backfield.
Ramsby on the carry
by Sean Green.
Trying to give the backups a little bit of work. We thought that we may see Fabian.
3 yards to go.
9 runs, 89 yards rushing. His longest thus far, 27 yards. Saw a lot of action last week against Savannah State. L.A. Ramsby, the redshirt freshman from Cincinnati, Ohio. Ramsby.
Gotsis.
Adam Gotsis comes in and lays the big boom on Ramsby.
Big physical defensive player. I felt like he had to have a good game today. They've got to read blocks up front, play the run first. Wow, what a great play by Adam Gotsis.
Coach Gotsis played 8 years of Australian rules football. So,
well, you know he's a tough guy then.
No doubt. Nowicki. And this one is a fair catch by Jamal Golden, a 40-yard punt. 21-7 Yellow Jackets. Could go leading the pack. Jacoby Brissett, 544 yards and 5 touchdowns. And how about the Pitt Panthers? James Conner, 367 yards, 5 touchdowns as they went to Chestnut Hill and did some damage against Boston College. 11-0 last week. The ECC and the Hokies went up to the Horseshoe and took care of business against Ohio State.
That was my pick. That was my upset pick of the week last week, Matt, and I really feel good for Frank Beamer. I could tell talking to him at the ACC kickoff that he was fired up about this Hokies football team.
Georgia Tech will open up ACC action next week. Up in Blacksburg, Justin Thomas under center. Thomas will fire it to the far side. It's Smelter. DeAndre Smelter trying to break free, and the ball pops loose, but he is down. And a pickup.
Second down.
8 on the play, maybe 9.
Smelter's an impact player. You just get him one-on-one with the corner. It's hard to tackle that guy. I know they want to try to get the football to him more, but they're having so much success running the football, it's tough to mix it up.
Paul Johnson really likes that tandem of DeAndre Smelter and Darren Waller, who was suspended for the first 2 games. He's back in action. And a give to Lasky. Lasky surging ahead. Is he able to get that first down as Chris De La Rosa comes in, the true freshman from Longwood, Florida, and Lake Brantley High School, and it is a first down. Paul Johnson started out as a D-line coach for Irk Russell. How about that?
I had no idea. And you're the D-line coach for Irk Russell, and now you end up being one of the top option guys in the country.
He was going to head to another school as a defensive coordinator, and Irk Russell said, no, I got an idea. How about being the OC for us? Trying to dance outside is Charles Perkins. And after facing MTSU and Boots Donnelly, he decided to change up that offense to get things going.
Yeah, sometimes necessity's the mother of invention, and that's what they had to go to move the football. Pretty good decision, I would think. They've won a few championships at Georgia Southern running that option.
And they ended up winning it that year as Perkins is assisted off of the field. Hobbling over toward the bench is Charles Perkins, the 5th-year senior from Lawrenceville, Georgia.
But Georgia Southern did a great job attacking the perimeter right there. Came up and took out the lead blockers. Really did a nice job. Caleb Williams supporting the run. Antonio Glover, really nice job. on the perimeter by Georgia Southern.
Thomas step back, and he is wrapped up and brought down by Jonathan Battle, his second sack of the season. And a loss of 8, Coach.
Yeah, I think, their throw game really, Matt, is got to be mixed up. I think when you get in third and long situations, when you're not as good pass blocking up front, makes it really, really tough. I think Trey Braun did a great job rushing the quarterback, getting a sack. I think the key here is don't get in those long yardage situations. Here's third and long.
Thomas fires it to the near side. Smelter reaches ahead. And is Smelter able to stretch out for that first down? And what a big-time grab. 6'3", 222 for the senior from Macon, Georgia. And going up against Caleb Williams.
Talking to Paul, he thinks this is a next-level guy. Got to find a way to get him the football. Nice job protection that time, Matt.
Caleb Williams from Tyler, Texas. Tyler Junior College, 5'9". A little bit of a mismatch there. And you leave it up there for those big wide receivers, and Smelter able to bring it in. This is going to be a big one here in the second quarter. 21-7 does it keep this series alive for Georgia Tech.
Nice throw by Justin Thomas, too. Really, really put it right on the money.
It is a first down for the Yellow Jackets. And they continue to do it on third down. They pick up a 22. They're 4 for 4 in third downs, Coach.
They got practice, Matt. They tried on second and long and got sacked. Third and long was the charm.
Let's go back to it. Got to have some confidence to go back to it, Coach.
Absolutely. Tells you they trust their offensive line to get it done. A little protection up front for Justin.
Lasky in the backfield. Hill, Zenon in motion. Here's Thomas. Turns the corner. Sheds one blocker. Thomas cuts it back inside the 20. Before he is wrapped up and brought down at the 14-yard line. Chris De La Rosa in a pickup of 34 yards.
Watch this block by Zach Lasky, if you could see it in here. Lead blocker gets on to Antoine Williams. Cuts Justin Thomas loose. Great foot speed by Justin Thomas. Great knack for running the football. He gets out in space. It's going to be tough on any defense.
Thomas from the 14. The give. Lasky straight ahead, and Lasky inside the 10-yard line, and Chris De La Rosa comes in, and Antoine Williams.
Yeah, really, really physical right here. 34 rushes, no yards lost. That's a north-south fullback right there. They call him the B-back, which to me is the old fullback, but what a nice player. And every time he goes forward, people get knocked back. It wears you down as you go on.
And you're so keyed up looking at Justin Thomas. Thomas, 9 carries, 93 yards. Here comes the 8th play of the drive. Thomas turns upfield and brought down by Jay Ellison. Ellison
by number 99, Jay Ellison.
With another tackle. East Carolina, how about that? The Pirates. And we were talking about this over dinner last night, Coach, when you think about Virginia Tech last week, a huge win, and then you try to get your players settled back in and knowing that you got a tough East Carolina team.
Yeah, no matter how hard you try, it's just so hard to get the kids settled back down after a big win in the Horseshoe.
To the end zone. Yep. Touchdown, Darren Waller reels it in. Waller had 3 touchdowns a season ago. His first game back, his first one of the 2014 season.
Paul Johnson likes DeAndre Smelter, but he really likes Darren Waller. He feels like both these guys are next-level guys, and they've got such great size. You know, big, tall receivers to throw the football to.
2 touchdown receptions. Lasky and Waller. Butker. And Georgia Tech is looking strong here at Bobby Dodd Stadium on a hot and humid Saturday in Midtown Atlanta. 6'6". Waller can go up and get it. ACC football is brought to you by Quicken Loans, for a mortgage experience that's engineered to amaze. And by Mitsubishi Motors, invites you to find your own lane. Coach, the varsity, that's one of your favorite spots here in Atlanta, isn't it?
Well, I'm a fan of hot dogs now. I had to grab a couple of those before one of our Georgia Tech games one day.
That was the first time I believe you ever faced the Yellow Jackets. You went over there and grabbed a couple of hot dogs, and everybody thought you were just calm, cool, and collected.
Well, the TV guys picked it up. I didn't know anybody knew it. They said he's over. He can't be too nervous. He's over getting hot dogs right before kickoff.
Well, it's a must-see, must-stop here in Atlanta. Hey, football fans, we're giving away a Honda generator each week for 5 weeks during college football season. Get in on the action and go to foxsports.com/south/Honda for a chance to win a Honda generator to power your next tailgate. And they were up and at it early this morning here at Georgia Tech. Fabian Upshaw and all the folks that made it up from Statesboro. There's better than 12,000 alumni in the greater metro Atlanta area for Georgia Southern. Upshaw throws a deep ball, and the flag is down. The pass was intended for B.J. Johnson, the junior. And D.J. White was right there. White, the junior from McDonough, Georgia. Had 4 tackles last week against Tulane. Let's hear from Dwayne Hayes.
On the defense, number 28, 15-yard penalty from the previous 5. Automatic, first down.
Had a chance, Coach, yesterday to meet with D.J. White. What a fine young man he is.
He is that. I don't know. That's you know, I guess you put your hands on the receiver, you know. That stuff happens. Fabian Upshaw, a really good player. We knew he was going to be in. Showed a really strong arm. They're trying to back Georgia Tech off, Matt. Try to loosen him up a little bit.
Transfer from FIU, Florida International University. A give and a power run straight up the middle for Breida. And Quayshawn Neely comes in and makes the stop.
Yeah, they want to keep pounding at them a little bit. They need some ball control, so they got to keep hitting inside, hitting outside, trying to find something that'll give them some consistency against this Georgia Tech defense.
2nd and 8 now. Fabian Upshaw. Upshaw fires it, and they'll hit the tight end, Govan, Nardo Govan.
If there's something you don't see in Georgia Tech's offense, a tight end.
It's interesting talking to head coach Willie Fritz at Georgia Southern. He said he'd like to get those tight ends involved a little bit more. Of course, playing in their first year in the Sun Belt Conference. And what a great football conference. And you think about what Mark Hudspeth has done at Louisiana and Arkansas State. And a hook up that time, and a big-time hit as Zach Walker comes up with the catch. And Damon Smith.
Zach Walker's kind of been their go-to guy. He's got more catches. Contrella Shires had bigger plays, but Zach Walker's been their go-to guy.
Pick up at 24. Smith with the tackle. Everybody loves talking about the Power 5, but outside of that, you think about the Sun Belt. Watch out. Upshaw. And a give straight ahead. Mark Hudspeth down in Lafayette, Louisiana, as Breida carries it. He's won 9 games 3 years in a row.
How about that? Really great football coach. Doing a nice job here mixing it up. See, this has got Georgia Tech off balance a little bit. They're really seeing a thrower in the game right now.
And Willie Fritz coming over from Sam Houston State. Back-to-back national championship appearances. Ramsby bouncing it to the outside. Ramsby lowers that right shoulder, and he is brought down at the 10. L.A. Ramsby out of Cincinnati, Ohio. Golden and white there, and a pickup of 13 for the Eagles.
Amazing, Matt, when you mix things up, what it does to the defense. You know, you've got Georgia Tech on their heels a little bit now.
Fabian Upshaw swings it to the far side. Zach Walker spinning around inside the 10 now. And the Jackets.
Zach Walker. Brought down by number 35, Tyler McCourtis.
Tyler McCourtis with the tackle.
Really nice open field tackle.
Ball on the 10-yard line.
That's what Ted Ruth talked about yesterday. They're going to have to make tackles in space with their secondary.
McCourtis coming up, making the stop there. 2nd and 8. Reed in the backfield with him. Sprinting out to the near side, firing it, and out of bounds is B.J. Johnson. The pass is incomplete. He had, I believe, that right foot coach out of bounds when he reeled it in.
Really good football play. It shows a live arm. I tell you, his football gets there in a hurry now. He zips that, see him turn his shoulders. Just a little too close to the sideline.
So 3rd down now for Georgia Southern. 4:36 remaining in the first half.
You typically think possibly a run here, Matt, but with Fabian, this kid may be throwing the football here.
3rd and 8. Upshaw looking deep, and he fires it over B.J. Johnson. He was looking in that end zone, and pressure was coming from Keyshawn Freeman.
Yep, forced a hurried throw and just didn't have any room to throw it. Good defense by Georgia Tech. Fabian Upshaw, that was an impressive drive right there.
Alex Hanks in Marietta, Georgia. 3 of 3 on the season. This one 27 yards. And that one is good. 28-10 as Hanks good with the field goal. Sean Freeman doing an excellent job there as Upshaw had one sail on him. And so Hanks splits the uprights. It's 28-10. 28-10. Georgia Tech over Georgia Southern with 4:26 to go. And Justin Thomas, coach, you know, Paul Johnson said he's got that refuse to lose mentality, and in crunch time, he wants it. He's a special young player.
He's a full-speed guy, Matt, and the thing, he's doing a nice job. He's throwing the ball well today. That's gonna help him down the stretch. Great job running the football, but a great job throwing it today.
Younghoe Koo, the kickoff to Jamal Golden. How about that? Touchdown, 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 and touchdown. Golden takes it inside the end zone. He elects to bring it out. He's at the 10, looking for some room. No room, and he is swirled around and brought down. Steve Williams, a junior from Savannah, Georgia, comes over and makes a stop. You know, the other interesting thing about Justin Thomas, when you talk to Coach Paul Johnson, he said he's got to learn to take care of the ball. He said if he does that, he's going to be really, really good. He said ball security is key. He said you can say that all you want to a young player. He said, but it really hit home last week. And when we talked to Justin Thomas, you know that it did. Of course, he fumbled on the first play from scrimmage at Tulane, Coach.
Yeah, he takes responsibility. He doesn't shy away from it.
Here's Lasky. Lasky straight ahead, and a pile of blue shirts right there.
Tackle made by number 27,
Gallen,
Deshante
right there.
Gallen.
Deshante Gallen and Edwin Jackson. Deshante Gallen out of Madison, Florida.
You know, part of that, Matt, with Justin Thomas is you want to take care of the football, but you want to play full speed, and it's a little tougher to do than you think. Playing full speed, taking care of the ball sometimes are hard to put together.
Thomas looks to turn it up inside. No place to go as Lenny Richardson does a great job of reading it. and he makes a stop.
He does that. You're getting a full flow play, and it's really been Georgia Tech's bread and butter. But when you watch them flow to the football right here, they're starting to play this play a little more solid. I think just getting to see it enough. They've seen it so many times. They ought to start playing a little better.
Yeah.
Good job by Georgia Southern.
Third down. Yellow Jackets 4 of 5 on third downs. Thomas. He slings it out to Waller, and Waller, did he keep a foot down? Willie Fritz is saying no, and the officials are coming together saying yes, and Waller with a big-time play, 26 yards, and Coach Johnson told us yesterday that he's got next-level ability, and how about that grab?
That was a great catch, and you can tell even from up here, Matt, how tall he is. I had 6'5". I had 6'5" down here on my chart, but I swear he looks bigger. What a big target for Justin Thomas. Great play.
Big time play.
Well, they weren't going to let that go.
They wanted to get back under it. And replay official Dennis Redding wanted to take a look at it. 28-10 Georgia Tech. Darren Waller, what a grab. Darren Waller, 2 receptions, 30 yards. And after the review, yes, he had the foot down, and Coach, he had control of the football.
He's got the big hands. He had it put away. You know, on 3rd and long, you got to protect, put the throw on it. You need a great catch. Just a great football play by Georgia Tech.
Thomas, 6 of 7, 74 yards, 2 touchdowns. Here's Thomas. Fakes it, tries to get up inside, and he can, as he is brought down by Quan Daniels.
Brought down by number 44, Quan Daniels.
From Moultrie, Georgia. 139 players combined from the state of Georgia, Coach.
Do you think that makes for a little rivalry, Matt? You think these kids don't want to play?
And there is some great high school football, as we know, being played in this state.
Oh, man. Some of the best in the country.
Absolutely. 139 combined. Thomas, little pump fake. Now goes deep, looking for Smelter. Smelter into the end zone. DeAndre Smelter. Touchdown, Yellow Jackets. 57 yards in the air.
Tell you, going forward, Matt, nothing's going to help this Georgia Tech offense more than for Justin Thomas to be able to throw it. And with Smelter and Waller, he's got 2 great targets. This offense is really dangerous running the ball, but they're starting to show some people that they've got some weapons to throw it.
A couple weeks back, Thomas, career high in the air against Wofford. And he's putting up some big numbers here in the first half. 35 points. And this is a team through 2 weeks, Coach. It's been a second-half team.
Absolutely. That was Paul's focus all week, was they got to start fast, and they're getting it done on the ground. They're getting it done through the air. I thought Georgia Southern's drive before really put some pressure on Georgia Tech. They kind of got Georgia Southern cranked up and going again. But, again, Georgia Tech's offense answers.
3 receptions, 88 yards for DeAndre Smelter. And, Coach, you're so worried about that option, and then all of a sudden you mix in Smelter and Waller, and it takes this offense to the next level.
It's absolutely a nightmare for defensive coaches, Matt. You go into the game and you got to stop the fullback first, work to the quarterback, work to the pitch. You get all that out of the way, and then you're getting run past in the passing game.
You got Waller out there, 6'5", 6'6", and then you have to deal with Smelter, 6'3". And Thomas, 7 of 8 for 131 and 3 TDs. And he's run for nearly the century mark. Bucker to kick off. Keaton and Elvine waiting at the goal line. Through the back of the end zone.
Wow.
And caught there in the first row. What a grab by one of the Georgia Tech Yellow Jacket fans.
I don't know if they could return it, but they sure can catch it.
Yep. 35-10. 5 plays, 86 yards, 2:28 in the time.
Yeah, watch a pump fake by Justin Thomas. Double move by Smelter. Gets behind the quarterback, Nick Wright. I don't think anybody's going to catch him.
Kevin Ellison back in now at quarterback. Ellison, no place to go. Tied up and brought down. And a little bit of extra conversation there. Freeman, the first one on the scene, and then P.J. Davis there as well. And Davis and Ellison with a couple of how-do-you-dos. Ellison. Ellison looking to that near side. And in and out of the hands of Williams.
Really nice throw here. Just got to hang on to that football. They really need a little possession time now. They're really putting a lot of heat on their defense by not controlling the ball a little bit.
Well, it's third down. And 10 after the drop pass by Keegan Williams. Eagles are 1 for 4 on third down. It's 3rd and 10. Ellison. No place to go. Bottled up. And a loss of yards. Rook Chongon along with Green right there. Roderick Rook Chongon.
Rod Rook Chongon.
With the hit there.
That's a good football player right there. We saw him a lot when we were watching our film yesterday. Matt, that's a good football player. And I think that's what Ted Roof talked to us about yesterday, really needing his defensive ends to play well today. They've got to do a good job squeezing down, taking the fullback when it's their job, or the running back, and then also doing a good job stealing bases to the quarterback and rushing the passer.
Timeout taken by Georgia Tech, and if you're just joining us, how about this? Big-time plays by Justin Thomas, and Thomas scampers in for the touchdown, and then looking for Lasky out of the backfield, Coach.
Yep.
With the TD there, 3 of them on the day for Thomas. Breida with an explosive 69-yard run.
And then you saw the missed tackle. That's what, Ted Roof talked about. They're going to have to make tackles in the open field, but they haven't missed many today, Matt.
And that's Waller in his first game back after the Byerly touchdown, and here's Smelter.
How about when you got Smelter on one side and Waller on the other?
What do you do defensively to try to slow that down? That is so tough. They need the big leg of Ryan Nowicki. And Golden is right there to call a fair catch at the 45-yard line, only 37 yards. And when you think about Ryan Nowicki, the transfer from Ole Miss at North Carolina State, 4 punts, average nearly 51 yards.
I thought that might be a difference today, Matt. I thought if they exchanged punts a few times, Georgia Tech's averaging about 40. But now there were a couple pooch punts included in that. So, but if you get about a 10-yard difference each time you exchange punts, that ends up being quite a bit of total offense.
1:05 here remaining in the first half. 35-10. Thomas looks deep. Thomas and getting spun all around his hill, and Dobson right there. Fans wanted a penalty flag, and no yellow cloth laid out on the field here.
They like the way Justin's throwing the football.
Looking for the big play that time.
They were.
Well, Thomas against Wofford had a 71-yard touchdown to pass to Smelter. 2nd and 10. Thomas with time fires it to the near side, and he overthrows the intended target of DeAndre Smelter.
Nice throw, just sailed on him a little bit, Matt. They're coming out with just 50 seconds to go in the half and trying to make something throwing the football.
5 of 6 on 3rd down.
Still got a couple of timeouts.
52 seconds left, 3rd and 10 for Paul Johnson's crew. Thomas looking for Smelter once again. And Smelter makes the catch.
Man, I'm impressed with the protection with Georgia Tech's offensive line. I'm telling you, Justin Thomas has got time to throw the football. You give him time, he's going to hurt you.
Aaron Joe up there. And Trey Braun there on the left side, along with Burden, Mason, and Griffin. Here's Thomas. A flag is down. And Thomas headed toward the sideline, unable to get there as Dobson tracks him down.
Tackle made by Matt Dobson.
38 seconds left, and a flag is on the play, as I mentioned. And we'll hear from Dwayne Haight once again.
On the offense, number 78, 10-yard penalty from the previous spot.
Here's our guy right here.
Yeah, Coach, we're just saying how great they were looking up front.
Yeah, defensive tackle makes an inside move, and see, when you've got your arms wrapped around, the defender, pretty easy for the official to see. You got to keep those hands inside. And of course, you don't want to hold to begin with, but if you do have to hang on, you sure don't want your hands draping over his shoulder pads.
Timeout, Georgia Tech. Coming up next, KU. The Jayhawks travel to Durham to take on the defending ACC Coastal Division champion Duke Blue Devils. Stay tuned. As a great voice of West Durham and James Bates bring you all the action from Tobacco Road. Duke Blue Devils 2-0. Kansas, the last time KU won on the road, Coach Charlie Weiss was the head coach at Notre Dame. That was back in 2009 in El Paso, Texas against the Miners.
Wow.
They've lost 27 games away from Lawrence. Thomas up top. And he overthrows Waller. He had him. Waller had a step on Cooper.
Brings up 2nd down.
A lot of confidence for your quarterback, Matt, when you got those 6'6" guys out there trying to catch him. Just give him enough air under the ball, and he gets that one.
He's like, you made a couple of over-the-shoulder grabs. I'll just chuck it out there once again, see if you can work your magic.
There's something to that when your quarterback knows that if he knows he'd get the ball out there to you and you're either going to catch it or nobody else is, you feel pretty comfortable with that.
2nd down now. Thomas once again takes to the air. Thomas up high to Smelter, and that one defended by Cooper. Pardon me, it was not intended for Waller.
Really good block on the perimeter, Matt, by St. John Days. He's made a couple of really nice pickups in this series. Really impressed with their offensive line right now.
So it's going to be 3rd and 20 now with 25 seconds left here in the first half.
Yeah, got to involve that fullback with your projection. St. John Days has done a great job. The line's done a great job.
Tony Zennon along with Waller up top to the near side. Smelter. Thomas flush out of the pocket. Fires downfield.
That was dangerous, Matt. I think that would have been a great time for Justin to pull the ball down. You know, we've talked about him trying to distribute the ball, get it to his teammates, but that was a great situation with him on the perimeter. See if they can tackle you one-on-one.
Yeah, it's interesting because, you know, one of the things he told us yesterday is he is unselfish, and we've heard about, you know, he's a quiet leader, but sometimes in this sort of offense, when you're the quarterback, you got to be a little bit more selfish. Although, yeah, that tendency, you want to spread it around a lot.
Yeah, probably, I guess, being aggressive is a better way to put it rather than selfish.
Yeah,
but,
great point.
You know, honestly, Matt, one of the tough things to do is when you scramble as a quarterback is to know how you can get to the sticks, whether it's with your feet or by throwing the football. Right there, I bet Justin wishes he'd have pulled that down and ran with it.
Ryan Rodwell sends it into the end zone, and Trey Butler was back. Great point. Be a little bit more aggressive. It's 35-10. He has been sharp, though, outside of that series. The sophomore, so dynamic.
Well, you know, they had a good 2-minute drill going there. Their hurry stuff was going great. And then they got the holding penalty, and that pushed them back, kind of put them in a bind.
This is, we were talking about how great that O-line was looking. Trey Brown gets called for the holding. Ellison back in, not Upshaw. Down 35-10. And a handoff to L.A. Ramsey, and that's going to bring the first half to a close here at Bobby Dodd Stadium at historic Grant Field. An electrifying first half of that offense of Georgia Tech. And Georgia Southern offensively, Ted Roof's defense has really come up strong. And so let's send it down to Hans.
Well, Coach Johnson, outside of that final possession, very sharp on offense, in particular third down.
Yeah, it's disappointing we get a penalty in that last possession to take us out of field goal range.
Defensively, I thought the front seven did a great job dictating with Georgia State's play.
We stopped the run minus one long play that we didn't get missed assignment, but other than that, but they've had some guys open. We've got to correct some things in the passing game.
All right, there you go, Coach Johnson.
Had one run, Matthew Breida, 69 yards. His season best run, career best, in fact. But up front, Ted Roof's defense, led by Adam Gotsis, getting it done. Waller reels it in, and this one goes to Smelter. First ever meeting between Georgia Tech and Georgia Southern. Let's send it down to Hans Heiser. Hans?
Well, Coach Fritz, down by 25 here at the half. Some crucial third down, lack of execution.
Yeah, it really did. We were playing coverage, and he threw it up to their big guys, but there's no excuse on that. We got to make the play and get off the field and give our offense decent starting field position.
Offensively, you had the one big play there on third down. What did you do well on that play that you need to see more of?
Well, we got them all blocked. We didn't allow any penetration. We got to do that every single play. We're allowing some penetration. They're getting some minus plays on us.
Okay, Coach, good luck in the second half. Thank you.
Such a proud tradition at Georgia Southern. This is their first season in the FBS, playing out of the Sun Belt Conference. Wearing blue here on the road. Last time they wore blue, an away game was at Samford back in 2011. Willie Fritz in his first season. Harrison Butker to kick off. Georgia Southern in the first half won the toss. They deferred. So let's see what the Eagles coach can come up with. Keaton and Elvine are back at the goal line.
Yeah, I think what we got to have here, Matt, Georgia Southern's got to get some points here. We got to get back in the game. It's the way they've got to look at it at Georgia Southern right now. I don't think possession time, Georgia Tech had the ball for over 21.5 minutes in the first half, which is really tough. But I think here in this drive, hanging on to the ball is not as critical as getting points.
Take a look at the first half punt. Touchdown. That was that big 69-yard run from Matthew Breida. Then punt, field goal. That was with Fabian Upshaw as the quarterback. Punt.
Did a nice job. You hate kicking field goals in the red zone. That's what Georgia Tech does not do. Kevin Ellison starting this series.
You see the numbers. It has been a tough day for the sophomore. Handoff inside. Breida. And Breida with a big gain here.
Great foot speed. You
Davis
let that guy,
and Golden there.
Let that guy get loose. He can go to the goal line with it.
And hurrying up, giving it once again to Breida straight through the middle. After a pickup of 17. That one right around 70 yards. And Golden has to come up from the secondary and make the stop.
Little sense of urgency here by Georgia Southern, Matt.
As there should be. Down 35-10 on the road out of the shotgun. Ellison pitches it to the near side and into Yellow Jacket territory. Monte Crockett from Rock Hill, South Carolina.
Does a nice job, Kevin Ellison, getting to the read key, getting the ball pitched. First down, just getting back to bread and butter, it looks like, Matt.
Yep.
Running their offense, running the option.
1st and 10. Ellison, the snap was high. Ellison keeps it, turns the corner. Ellison down to the 35-yard line. And Ted Roof's defense here in this first series doesn't look like the one we saw in the first half as Neely makes a tackle.
No, coming out a little bit rusty here. They got to start getting their feet hot and get to the football. A little sluggish here defensively for the Yellow Jackets.
And Coach Willie Fritz getting that offense right back up to the line of scrimmage, and now they'll look over to the sideline. Doug Roos, the offensive coordinator and quarterback coach, trying to change that tempo.
Yep, they are.
2 wide receivers up high for Georgia Southern. And they're going to swing it out to Zach Walker, and no place to go. And Chris Milton makes a nice play in space.
Yeah, you know, Ted Roof was talking about Chris needing to be a little bit more physical. Gosh, does he do a great job getting off a block here, forcing that perimeter play. Nice, really nice.
Had 3 tackles a week ago against a Green Wave. And then he had a PAT block against Wofford. Ted Roof said anytime on tape he sees a high school player making a block, he said, take a look at him. Ellison spinning around. And Ellison is brought down by Freeman and Davis.
Had him in the backfield, but it's hard to tackle these quarterbacks for both teams. Both teams have quarterbacks that are very, very athletic, can beat you with their feet.
Big 3rd down now for Georgia Southern. 4 wide set. 1 for 5 on 3rd downs. Bad snap over the head of Ellison. He's going to have to try to fall on it, and he does. Back in his own territory.
Smart play to just get on the ball, Matt. But we talked earlier, they had this problem at NC State. They had 4 or 5 shaky snaps. This one gets completely over Kevin's head. And what you teach these quarterbacks to do, get on the ball. Don't try to pick it up and do something with it. Get back there and recover the ball.
There's a flag down on the play. Man Ray St. Amour, the center.
After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct. Number 40 of the defense. 15-yard penalty from the end of the run. Automatic. 1st down.
Mental mistake, and you know Coach Johnson's not going to like that. It was a loss of 23.
Well.
And now all of a sudden it keeps everything alive, and Davis is going to come off the field.
You know, we talked earlier, Matt, about how disciplined that both teams have been today, that there haven't been any real silly penalties, that they've just played good, hard-nosed football. That's something that will concern Paul Johnson.
Ball on the 42-yard line.
1st and 10 from the 42. New set of downs now for Ellison in the give to Breida, and Breida pounds ahead. And Breida's going to pick up 4 yards. And Freeman there. And Bo Hankins comes in out of Birmingham, Alabama. And he makes the stop. 2nd and 6, and here we go again. Ellison right there trying to catch that D. See what they line up, and then they look down.
Yep, trying to find the right play, which side to go to, where their numbers advantage is.
Numbers advantage. And Ellison a disadvantage there as Neely comes flying in.
Did a great job getting his hands up in the air. That guy's got, I think, 7 picks in his career, 3 of them for touchdowns. They're lucky that one didn't come back in his hands.
6 yards to go.
Here's Neely right here. Times it perfectly. Had an interception and a touchdown last week in the 2nd quarter at Tulane. He has 3 pick sixes. in his career for touchdowns, as you mentioned. Third down. Ellison fires it. Zach Walker is going to be short here. Short of the first down. Milton comes in. You talked about Coach Johnson wanting him to play physical. Big stick right there.
Really good catch by Zach Walker and a great defensive play by Chris Milton. Again, you know, if Ted was worried about him being physical, that's not the issue today, Matt. He's coming up and bringing it.
They're going to go for it. Fourth down, less than a yard. Ellison turns upfield. Ellison has the seam, has the end zone in sight. On 4th and 1, Ellison with a 32-yard touchdown run. A flag is down in the end zone.
Yeah, I think you got Georgia Tech really hunkering down, thinking they're going to get some type of an inside run, get the perimeter play. Unsportsmanlike conduct again.
Celebrating there.
Yeah, Willie Fritz will be really upset with his quarterback. That's unusual for Kevin Ellison to do that. 2 bad penalties in this drive. Both head coaches will have some talking to do with those guys.
11 plays, 75 yards, 4 minutes, 56 seconds. Alex Hanks is on. The extra point is good. 35-17. Important for Georgia Southern to come out and get some points. The penalty kept it alive. Ellison with a touchdown. And that right there got him a penalty. ACC football is brought to you by Hardee's Texas Barbecue Thick Burger, by Hyundai, and by CPI Security. Here from Bobby Dodd Stadium at historic Grant Field. Georgia Southern on the board with the run by Kevin Ellison, 11 plays, 75 yards, 32 yards on the ground for the quarterback on the keeper.
Yeah, foot speed by Kevin Ellison, Matt. Watch him get down the line of scrimmage. We stop it right here. Watch this block right here. Watch the block on this safety coming to the line of scrimmage. He gets sealed by the tight end. Kevin Ellison, good foot speed, good play. Nice answer for Georgia Southern.
At the end of the play, the celebration by Ellison with the Superman-like, Cam Newton-like pose there ends up, it results in a penalty. So Younghoe Koo's got to kick off from his 20. And the back is Golden. Golden takes it at the 15. Golden up to the 34-yard line before a pack of blue shirts meet him right there. 35-17, and Willie Fritz trying to get his defense going. He did such a great job at Sam Houston State, and prior to that at Central Missouri, Glenn Junior College. He's coached at every level.
He's won big everywhere he's been. Matt, fine football coach.
Justin Thomas will work from the 35. Thomas, and some miscommunication there as the pass was intended for Michael Summers. Summers out of Statesboro, Georgia, of course, the home of Georgia Southern. And first time we saw the punter for Georgia Tech was at the end of the first half, because prior to that, Ryan Rodwell wasn't getting much of a chance. Touchdown, 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 touchdown. Yeah. And rack him up on the pitch to the near side, and Hill, just no place to go. Deion Hill. And Georgia Southern just with a little bit of life. We talked about this as the
the second half was starting, about how important that first series was for Georgia Southern, just from a mentality standpoint, and that one mistake by Davis keeps it alive for them.
Absolutely. They needed to answer with points, Matt. And I'll tell you what I like. I like, we started seeing Georgia Southern's defense swarm the ball better at the end of the second quarter. They look like they're starting to figure out this Georgia Tech option a little bit.
3rd and 8 now for Thomas. Thomas back to throw, and the pass is incomplete to B.J. Boston. And so Ryan Rodwell's going to see action prior to that. 6 of 8 on 3rd downs.
Yeah, they did a great job on 3rd down in the first half. And here, throwing the incomplete on 1st down put them in a little bit of a bind. Georgia Southern did a great job on 2nd down, put them in 3rd and long, and got them going to get off the field. Just exactly what they needed.
Thomas has missed his last 5 throws. Had that chance there at the end of the first half, but a couple of balls sailed on him. Rodwell with Butler back. Butler going back to the 15. There's a flag down. Butler turns it back up inside. Butler still on his feet. Butler gets dragged down right at the 40. There is a flag down on the field. 48-yard punt, 24-yard return.
Good news is you get a great punt, 48 yards, but it didn't have too much hang time, Matt, and gave him a great return ball. Looks like a penalty might bring it back.
During the return, illegal block in the back. Number 2, other receiving team. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. 1st down.
Illegal block. Steve Williams. A beautiful scene here on this Saturday, 35-17. Coach, this is great. The College Football Hall of Fame, it opened in August this year. Of course, it was previously located in South Bend, Indiana, nearly 95,000 square feet, highly interactive and engaging experience using a blend of historic college football artifacts and state-of-the-art multimedia exhibits.
I think it's great to bring it to Atlanta. Gives access to so many more fans.
Ellison and Breida, after the illegal block, backed up to their own 15. And a handoff. Breida gets popped and spun around. Needs to be able to pick up about 3 yards. Freeman is there.
Still trying to work Georgia Tech's defense inside, which I think smart. It opens up the perimeter plays.
First half just 8:31, and that last drive nearly 5 minutes. Time of possession. Trying to change that tempo, and it seems to have worked. Ellison with another lane. Ellison at midfield. Ellison into Yellow Jacket territory. I'll tell you what, I wonder what Willie Fritz was in there saying at halftime to his Eagles, because they're coming out now.
Hey, Willie Fritz is a great football coach, and you know he had them stirred up.
DJ White finally tracks him down after a pickup of 48 yards.
Mixing it up inside and outside, going inside and then on the perimeter with Kevin Ellison.
Ellison looks back downfield, and this one is caught inside the 5, and Kentrellis Showers with the grab, and Lawrence Austin, the true freshman.
Kentrellis Showers, a big play guy, goes and gets it. Great throw to make that play. Momentum's changing a little bit on him, Matt. Kentrellis Showers, great player, great big play guy in their offense. Big play receiver. Of course, Kevin Ellison, what a nice throw. Put it right on the money. Really wasn't terrible coverage. The throw was just where nobody could get it but Kentrellis.
Lawrence Austin on the coverage. Here's Ellison. The give to Breida. Did Breida get in? The Eagles are saying he did. Touchdown is signaled. Well, here come the Georgia Southern Eagles.
Their first 2 possessions of the second half. And the 10,000 plus folks that are Georgia Southern faithful are certainly proud of that drive.
We talked a little bit about possession time, Matt, but I'm going to tell you what, Willie Fritz is happy to score as quickly as he can. That's one of those drives where you think you need a little bit of possession time, but when you go right through them and score, it's pretty good stuff.
Under review, of course, Breida 10 carries, 106 yards, and a touchdown. You see the tight end, Jeff Ward, signaling touchdown, number 96. He was the first one to say, we got it in there. And it looks like it may stand.
This is one thing Georgia Tech needed to limit his big plays in the second half. You've got the good lead. You give them big plays, you let them right back into it. Georgia Southern's got a lot of momentum right now.
Touchdown under review.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. Touchdown.
Touchdown. I'm sure Willie Fritz tapped into the fact, and when we talked to him, he said, look, 39 of our players come from the greater metro Atlanta area. And with the way they came out, certainly not satisfied, but here at the start of the third quarter, 2 possessions, 2 touchdowns. Alex Hanks, the extra point. And it's good. 35-24. Eagles impressive here. Breida pushing over across the goal line for a touchdown. We got ourselves a game. ACC football is brought to you by the official corporate champions of the ACC, Toyota, Haviland, and by Food Lion. (35-24). Georgia Tech. An impressive start by Willie Fritz's team here. Early on in the third with 7:02 to go.
Well, you wouldn't be surprised if they came out with their head down a little bit embarrassing with the halftime score, but shows the character of this football team, the job Willie Fritz and his staff have done, and these kids are playing now. They're in it to win it.
Georgia Southern 5 first downs in the first half. They already have 6 here in the third. Coup, and it's taken by Broderick Snoddy. Snoddy at the 25, shaken now, spun around, and he's brought down shy of the 30-yard line, and a 25-yard return for Georgia Tech. Here comes Justin Thomas. And, Coach, what do they need to do to get back to what was happening for them in the first half?
Well, I think, some of the plays that they were so successful with in the first half, Georgia Southern's done a nice job adjusting to. And so I think they just need to be patient. I think, patience will pay off for them here if they just run their offense and execute.
Smelter down low. Waller up high top of your screen. Lasky straight ahead, and big-time play by Edwin Jackson as he met him right there.
He's their guy. He's their playmaker. He's their leading tackler. 6 foot, 230 pounds, and he brings it.
Yeah,
that's two big guys running into each other. Pad level there. Edwin had his pads lower than Zach, and pad under pad usually wins, Matt.
Deshante Gallen also there. Jackson out of Westlake High School here in Atlanta. Thomas, second down now. Pick up a 4 for Lasky, and he has the first down here. Nice job by Lasky picking up that first down, and a gain of 8 as Deion Stanley comes in and makes the stop.
Trying to go back here with the belly to Zach. trying to get a little bit more north-south. They've been kind of going east and west too much, I think, and probably Coach Johnson does too. And you got the big fullback that can get north on you in a hurry.
Their first down recorded here in the third. Here's Lasky once again. Go right back to the bread and butter. And of course, this is the way they started, and then that's when they started to open up with Smelter and Waller.
Yep. And you know, you look at the sticks, Matt. It doesn't look like Zach gained many yards, but looks like we got 2nd and 6, 6.5. I mean, still making progress going north.
Gain of 3. Lasky 11 carries, 53 yards for the senior from Peachtree City. And a stoppage of play on 2nd and 7 with a play clock at 9. Appears to be a clock issue. Now the clock is rolling. It's 2nd and 7. Play clock at 18. As it was reset, here's Thomas. Thomas keeping it. And Thomas stopped at the 45-yard line.
Thomas carries the ball.
And he's going to be able to pick up a yard. It's going to bring up 3rd down now into 5 as Jackson and Glover were right there.
The perimeter outside the tackles, Matt, was really, really good to him in the first half, especially early in the half. Into the first half, you could tell Georgia Southern was kind of getting in the flow, and the way they're chasing the football right now is really impressive. They're getting a lot of guys to the football.
6 for 9 on 3rd downs. Thomas fires it to Snoddy here on the near side, and he's going to be stopped short of that 1st down by Dobson. Broderick Snoddy is going to bring up 4th down now.
Yeah, he's got to go to his outlet. He does a nice job finding him. Great open field tackle. The defense, Georgia Southern's defense is really impressive right now, Matt. They started at the end of the 2nd quarter playing pretty good defense, and they've carried that over into the 2nd half.
Rodwell, the kick to Butler. And the spiral is caught at the 16-yard line. Georgia Southern, what a great tradition of football in Division I AA, and of course now known as FCS, and all the national titles. First under Irk Russell, legendary head coach. And then when Paul Johnson took over in 1999 and backed it up in 2000. And what a pleasure it was talking to Paul Johnson yesterday about Irk Russell and the 4F philosophy. Be firm, be fair, be fundamental, and don't forget about having some fun. And Ransby straight up the middle. And as we mentioned back in the first half, as Davis makes a tackle, he actually was a D-line coach initially, and then Irk Russell moved him over to the offensive side of the ball and did such a magnificent job, of course, at Georgia Southern and on to Navy, as you well know, and now here at Georgia Tech. Ellison looking to turn the corner. Can't. He's wrapped up and stopped by Neely.
Quayshawn Neely can run. He's, you know, I think Ted Rue felt like he was off to a little bit of a slow start, but he's really been coming on lately. And they need Quayshawn Neely to be a playmaker like that right there. Great inside-out pursuit. Really good tackle.
Big 3rd down and 6 here. Ball just shy of the 21-yard line. Matthew Breida in the backfield. Ellison, 3rd and 6. Ellison with time. 1st down for the Eagles. Walker on the reception.
Their go-to guy, Zach Walker. I tell you, Matt, when you get these guys in third down now, you got to make it happen. You know, he gets plenty of time, good protection. Just that defensive back tries to undercut it. Just can't quite get there.
Walker coming in with 6 receptions and 113 yards. Ellison with time goes up top. What an over-the-shoulder grab by B.J. Johnson into the end zone. 68 yards for Georgia Southern, and they're right in it. A look of shock on the faces here at Georgia Tech and Georgia Southern. How about this? What a start, Coach, to the second half.
Absolutely, and working on Georgia Tech's fine corner, DJ White. He's got to step on him, and you know he's made. I'll tell you, Kevin Ellison has put 2 long throws right on the money. The coverage has not been that bad, but the throw and the catch, hard to defend.
Play is under review to see if he stayed in the end zone, or inbounds, pardon me, on his way to the end zone. And it certainly appears as though that right foot was inbounds. The left is there, and the right looks like it was inbounds. If it stands, it is B.J. Johnson's first career touchdown.
Great throw by Kevin Ellison. Great play by the wide receiver, B.J. Johnson. Good foot speed. I'll tell you, Matt, the thing you'll come away with in this game is both these football teams have great foot speed. They got a lot of guys on both sides that can run.
And talking to Ted Roof, what did he tell us yesterday? Big plays.
Yeah.
Keep it in the ballpark. Got a tackle.
Touchdown.
It is a touchdown. And 2 big plays. You go back to Breida in the first half on that 69-yard run, and then this one right here.
Had 2 big throws, a couple long runs by the quarterback, Kevin Ellison. About the only thing, Matt, that could have gotten Georgia Southern back in this game is big plays, and they've sure hit them.
They certainly have.
And Georgia Tech hasn't been able to answer. You know, Georgia Tech's got to get things going. Going for 2.
Yeah, going for 2 here. B.J. Johnson in motion. Ramsby, the running back. Ellison looks to run and then fires it over the middle, looking for Govan. And Govan passes incomplete. Isaiah Johnson right there. Ellison looked to tuck it and then pulled it back. Thought that he'd have his tight end wide open.
Nice play by Isaiah Johnson, reading his keys.
Let's take a look at our Honda Generators power play of the game. Ellison with a big arm there.
The go route to B.J.
And Johnson stays in bounds.
Yeah, D.J. White, we talked to him yesterday. What a nice kid and a really good football player. And again, not terrible coverage. Great throw, great catch. Just a great football play.
Ellison laid it in there perfectly, and he's looking over to the sideline saying, we're back in it. We're right there where we want to be. It's 35-30, going for 2 points. That time they come up empty, trying to make it a field goal game.
Yeah, not a bad time to do it, Matt. You know, a lot of momentum. They've got Georgia Tech on their heels a little bit right now. Probably a good time to do that.
And Paul Johnson saying to himself, you know what, folks, we flipped the script. We were struggling in the first half through the first 2 games, so we came out strong, and then all of a sudden a dominant team in the second half through the first 2 against Wofford and Tulane, outscoring them 42-10, and all of a sudden here it is. Take a look at those total yards. It has been all Georgia Southern.
Really unbelievable. You know, you look at it and you feel like it's Georgia Tech's defense, you know, that's really been soft in the second half, but 21 yards total offense for Georgia Tech. I'm sure didn't expect this coming out at halftime.
Snoddy picks it up and downs it in the end zone. Coming up next, KU, Kansas. They'll take on the Duke Blue Devils, the ACC Coastal Division champions. Stay tuned as Wes Durham and James Bates bring you all the action from Durham.
Hopefully that one will be as exciting as this one.
Yeah, no doubt. And although I would have a feeling that Coach Cutcliffe would say, you know what, I wouldn't mind just maybe putting a few up and riding it out nice and easy.
A little more fun when you can drink some Gatorade on the sideline and laugh and giggle.
Absolutely. Duke QB Anthony Boone, 12-0 as a starter in the regular season. Here's Thomas on the pitch. And spun around and out of bounds. Williams comes up and makes the catch, and makes a tackle, and Tony Zenon is out of bounds.
So belly option play they started the game with. It was so successful. I think you got to be patient, Matt. I think you just got to make first downs. If you make first downs, good things are going to happen.
Second and 3 for Thomas. It's a 5-point game. The give to Lasky, looking for the first down, and Lasky powers ahead. He has the first down. And true freshman Chris Della Rosa, his helmet comes off, and so he'll have to leave the field. First down, and 10 now for the Ramblin' Wreck.
Good forward lane by Zach Lasky. A lot of want to in that. I can tell you, there's one guy for sure down on that field that wants to get going. That's Zach Lasky.
As you said earlier, you think that, well, maybe it's only 2 or 3, and all of a sudden it's 7 yards.
Yep.
Days is in, and the give to B.J. Bostic, and Bostic near the 45-yard line.
Down by Edwin Jackson.
And he is brought down by Jackson and Richardson. And a pickup of 5 yards for Georgia Tech.
Going back to the plays that were good for him early, Matt, a little counter inside run there. That was a big play for him in the first quarter.
Second down now and 5. Days in the backfield. The give to Days. He just powers right ahead. There is a flag down on the field.
Flag on the play.
Like it came in off the backside.
Paul Johnson anxiously waiting.
Personal foul. Chop block on the offense. Number 50 and 78. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay. Second down.
Trey Braun, it's been a couple of on him.
Yeah, you see that it's really tough right there, Matt. The center doesn't really want any piece of that guy. He's trying to get to the second level, and the guard thinks he's got to cut him off by himself. That's how you end up with the chop block, but it wasn't anything that they expected or wanted for sure.
After the penalty,
well, this has certainly turned into quite a football game here in Midtown Atlanta. Georgia Southern owned that third quarter. Ellison electrifying. It's 35-30. Georgia Tech, fourth quarter coming up. We got a good one. Look at our Quicken Loans game summary.
Pretty shocking, Matt. I tell you, a total domination by Georgia Southern in the third quarter, 20-0. 228 yards of offense in the third quarter to only 40 for Georgia Tech. Big, strong third quarter for Georgia Southern.
And really, at the start of it was Kevin Ellison. First half on the ground, a -2 yards. 84 in the third alone, and a big-time play. Thomas finds Lasky downfield, and he reels it in. A big play there, a gain of 23.
how about Zach Lasky? We're so impressed with him yesterday. He's got good length to him, and Paul said he runs a little better than you think, and he's got better hands than you would think. He's had a big play out of the backfield in the flat, and then what a huge play right there.
His parents have never missed a football game that he has played in since he was 70 years old. They make all the trips. He said that's one of the reasons why he chose Georgia Tech from Peachtree City, Georgia. Said it's great being close to home. Thomas airs it out. It's incomplete. And he said the best part about it, going home on a Sunday and getting that home-cooked meal, Coach.
Absolutely. That's the kids that are in driving distance love to be able to go home on the weekends. No question about it.
Willie Fritz trying to urge his team on. Jeff Monken, of course, moving on to Army, and they found a great coach in Willie Fritz, didn't they?
Tom Kleinlein, their athletic director, is the very best. He's an old football guy, played for Bill Dooley at Wake Forest, and he did a nice job finding a solid football coach.
Second down now and 10. Thomas. Handoff. No place to go for Andrews. Dennis Andrews is brought down by Deion Stanley, 4-year starter. Makes all the calls back there, and a nice play here.
Deion Stanley, second leading tackler, Matt, on this football team. Really good athlete, a leader for them. Really fine player, and the penetration really affected that play, made it bounce, and gave Deion a chance to get there and make a big play.
10 tackles coming into the day. Thomas to the air. Georgia Southern gets a big stop here at the start of the fourth quarter. Pass intended for Smelter. It's 35-30. Yellow Jackets by 5 over the Eagles.
Yeah, when Justin's missed, he's missed high most of the time, Matt. He's got those big receivers, and every once in a while, I think he's a little too confident in their height. You know, he just lets it sail a little bit. Yeah.
Butler is back, standing at the 10. Ryan Rodwell coming into today. 2 of his 3 punts have landed inside the 20. And this one is placed perfectly down at the 6-yard line. 35-30. As we take a look at the capital of Georgia here in Atlanta. Tech by 5.
Hey kids, we are looking.
ACC football is brought to you by Honda Generators and by your local Ford dealer. Centennial Park here in Atlanta. Coach, the folks up in Raleigh know how Georgia Tech is feeling right now. Of course, North Carolina State, Wolfpack had to come back and down Georgia Southern. Georgia Southern trying to chase Georgia Tech here, and they're starting at their own 6. Ellison pitches it to the outside. Great spin move. Devin Scott. And Devin Scott with a big-time run, a gain of 20.
Yeah, the NC State, Matt, had to play in the fourth quarter to beat these guys. Georgia Tech's going to have to do the same thing.
A lot of navy blue here from the Eagles. Up in the stands, and the folks down in Statesboro, they are loving this second half. Ellison, a pitch. Walker is cut down by Jamal Golding coming in and making that stop.
Really good play, and that's what, you know, Ted talked about, making tackles on the perimeter, open space. This is what you want as an option team. Get them one-on-one, but Jamal just made a great tackle. Pressed the issue, played really aggressively. Had he squatted, it would have given him a little bit of chance to wiggle away, but he tacked it and made a great open field tackle.
Second and 13, Ellison, 5 of 6 here in the second half for 121 yards in the air. Ellison sprints out to his left, and he fires complete.
Ellison's pass complete to number
Rallied to that one, Matt. And again, the Chris Milton is a kid that, Ted talked about him need to be more physical. He's made 3 or 4 great tackles out on the perimeter being cut.
Ryan Longoria at Hacienda Heights, California, and Fullerton Junior College. Ellison spreading it around. 3rd down now and 5.
She's on the other foot now, Matt. Georgia Tech needs to get off the field on 3rd down.
Play clock at 6. Ellison steps up. He's going to keep it. Ellison with the 1st down. Ellison still on his feet. Ellison into Yellow Jacket territory. What a run by Kevin Ellison. 26 yards. Damon Smith makes the stop finally.
So athletic, Matt. The problem is you try to get pressure in 3rd down. You get your defensive lineman up the field. He gets a crease and can beat you with his feet. He loses that football right there. Coach Fritz ain't going to be very happy about that. Happy with the big play in the 1st down. Got to take care of that football.
You see the offensive breakdown. Paul Johnson said at the top of this show when he was at Georgia Southern, he wanted to play Georgia Tech. Could never get that game lined up. And finally, with Paul Johnson as the head coach at Georgia Tech, they're able to get this game. But you can see why back when
absolutely
Paul Johnson was the head coach at Georgia Southern, Georgia Tech wanted no part. And prior to that, of course, when Irk Russell was there as well.
Great tradition of winning. You knew these guys weren't going to come out in the 2nd half and lay down.
2nd down, Ellison with Breida in the backfield. Ellison to the air. Ellison, and it's reeled in by Breida. Breida within striking distance, and Davis makes the stop. 28 yards. The big plays now starting to pile up.
Got Breida on the wheel route. He takes the inside fake and then gets out on the perimeter. They just lost him. I don't think they saw him get through the line of scrimmage, and then you don't see much guys with enough speed to run the wheel route by going through the line of scrimmage. What a great play. Matt Breida is a jet. He can really go.
From the 11. 1st and 10. Ellison on the give to L.A. Ramsby. Ramsby into the end zone. And the Eagles grab the lead. What a 2nd half by Georgia Southern. 11-yard run.
I think we've got a worn-out Georgia Tech defense right now. Matt, they've been on the field. It's just kind of complete opposites 1st half to the 2nd half.
Stunned and silent on the Georgia Tech side, and jubilation on the Eagle side. And a big-time run by the redshirt freshman. Roderick Rukchangan is down in the end zone. A sophomore from Silver Spring, Maryland. And up to his feet now. Boy, an immense amount of pressure that Georgia Southern has put on this Georgia Tech defense here in the 2nd half.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. And it started with big plays, Matt. I know Ted Roof, the defensive coordinator, he wanted to keep people in front of his secondary. He didn't want to give up big plays. And when you come out in the 2nd half, about the only thing that's going to get you is big plays. If you give up some big plays, you let them back in it. And I know Ted's disappointed that they've done that, but they're still in the game. They just got to keep fighting.
Great defensive coordinator, one-time head coach at Duke, of course. Georgia Southern here in the 2nd half. Total yards, 322.
In the 2nd half. Wow. Unbelievable. And, of course, part of the problem is Georgia Tech's not been able to move the ball offensively. They haven't been able to help out at all.
2-point attempt here. Ellison. This is the 2nd one of the game for Georgia Southern, and this time they come up with 2. As B.J. Johnson reels it in. 38-35. Hold on, folks. We got a great one here at Bobby Dodd Stadium at historic Grant Field. Ransby, the touchdown, and then how about this one? The 2-point conversion. 10:46 to go in the fourth. Mentioned this a couple of times earlier. What a second-half team Georgia Tech has been through the first 2 weeks of the season, outscoring opponents 42-10. But Willie Fritz, his team has buckled down here, outscoring Paul Johnson's team 28-0.
Yeah, I didn't see this, Matt. I really felt like coming out in the second half that Georgia Southern was going to have to play hard to get back in it. But I felt like Georgia Tech, with the way they moved the football offensively in the first half, I thought it's going to be a really tough job for Georgia Southern. But what a tale of halves. First half, all Georgia Tech. Second half, all Georgia Southern.
Younghoe Koo from Ridgewood, New Jersey to kick off. Golden is in the end zone. Jamal Golden will not bring it out. Our Synovus greatness made here feature focuses on the great Calvin Johnson, Megatron. At Tech from 2006 to 2008, Coach, you know him well. 178 career catches, nearly 3,000 yards, 28 touchdowns, and in 2006, 76 catches, 15 TDs, and better than 1,200 yards. And just last week, against the Giants, 164 yards and 2 touchdowns. And this week, Lions taking on Carolina. Thomas keeps it. Thomas has a first down. And a good decision that time is a pick up by 11. Just go back to your basics here, right, Coach?
Absolutely. There's absolutely no need to panic. You've got 10 minutes left in the game. You're down by a field goal. This is what Georgia Tech does. They move the football on offense. They can go down and score. They just need to be patient. Do the good stuff. Fundamental football. Play football.
You know, the Eagles here in this half, their scoring drive, 75 yards, 85, 83, and 94 yards. Thomas. And Dobson just stays with him and rides him out of bounds.
Thomas on the carry. Brought down by Matt Dobson.
10-11 left here.
Justin's had a great game so far, especially in the first half. You know, you wonder if all the kids aren't a little tired right now on both sides of the football. This will be a gut check going down the stretch.
75% humidity. And talking to all the Georgia Tech folks, they said last week was about the hottest they've ever been down in New Orleans at Gilman Stadium, opening up against Tulane, first ever game there. At Gilman, a brand new facility. Edwin Jackson and Ellison right there to make the stop, and they are pumped up as Lasky drives out about a yard.
That's the biggest deal right here. Try to hand the football to Zach Lasky. The Georgia Southern defensive front, Matt, is just owning the line of scrimmage right now. I mean, they've really got a burst of energy right now. I think, you know, with the momentum switch, you got the adrenaline flowing. These guys are playing tough, physical, hard-nosed football for Georgia Southern on defense.
Jay Ellison, sophomore from Hamilton, Georgia. Jackson right up at the line. Thomas on the run, Battle trying to track him down along with Daniels. And nearly, as Deion Stanley was right there. Oh my. 4th and 5.
Great play. We know they love Deion Stanley, second leading tackler. Justin's out of the pocket. That's always dangerous for a defense. Deion Stanley makes the play, gets his hand on the ball, knocks it away. Great play.
Ryan Rodwell, the punter.
Ryan Rodwell. Back deep for Georgia Southern, Trey Butler.
Trey Butler is back. Georgia Southern now by 3, 38-35. They've outscored the Yellow Jackets 28-0 here in the second half, and Butler calls for the fair catch. And he makes it right there.
Great punt.
Punt of 44 yards. Georgia Tech, that defense needs to make a stand with 8:49 to go.
Absolutely.
KU next week, Tulane. And what a great job David Cutcliffe has done. So how about this? After a great second half, Kevin Ellison to mix things up. They bring in Fabian Upshaw and Ransby straight ahead.
I know they like Fabian Upshaw, Matt. I'm not sure about that change right now. Maybe they feel like Kevin was a little winded and needed a little bit of a break.
Second down and 5. Ball on the
Pick up of 5 in the second half by that young man right there. Ellison, 28-0 outscoring the Yellow Jackets. Second and 5. Upshaw trying to get outside now. Turns it back up and in. Contained though, and a flag is down.
by Keyshawn Freeman.
Dwayne Ade, he's been busy today.
Illegal formation on the offense. 5 players line up in the backfield. 5-yard penalty, still second down.
So second down and long for Willie Fritz's team.
They've handled them pretty good here in the second half, Matt. I think this is another one of those situations. Georgia Tech's got to find a way to get off the field and let their offense get back out there.
Ball on the 15-yard line.
Georgia Southern, they held the lead in the fourth quarter up in North Carolina State before the Wolfpack came back. This one, they've come from behind to take the lead. Second down and 10. Fabian Upshaw fires it low. The pass intended for Longoria, and it's incomplete.
You know, Matt, I think that experience could really help them here. They took NC State to the wire. Here they are in another one. They weren't successful in Raleigh, but they've got that experience under their belt. See if they can find a way to close it out.
Third and 10.
Ball on the 15-yard line.
Third and 10 for the Eagles. Yellow Jackets need to come up with a big stop here. Upshaw changes it up. In communication with Man Ray Sanamore, his center. Upshaw fires it deep, wide open. He's got Showers, and Showers comes up with the grab.
First down, Georgia Southern.
Kentrell Showers, big playmaker for Georgia Southern. He's been their go-to guy. No plays any bigger than that one right there. Third and long.
Lance Austin
on the tackle.
The true freshman, the twin brother of Lawrence Austin. Their father played at Georgia Southern. Barnesville, Georgia. First and 10. That one was a big one. 7-19 and counting. A pickup at 23, and it keeps his drive alive. Upshaw goes deep, looking for Showers once again. He had Walker breaking it off in the middle of the field as well. He had his choice, Coach.
Yeah, I know he'd like to have that throwback. Watch him here. Really leans into it. Looks like he could have put it there. Wasn't the pressure that affected him. Just like to have that throwback, and kind of an interesting play call. You can tell Georgia Southern being really aggressive here, Matt, to get a win. Well, they're pulling them all out.
The big play, Coach, has worked for him.
Absolutely. That's what's gotten them back in the game. Big plays.
Up 3. Upshaw on the pitch.
Oh, great tackle.
Yep. Walker is cut down by Isaiah Johnson.
He's been a little bit banged up. They were a little concerned about him today. He's made some really good plays, Isaiah Johnson has.
Hamstring kept him out of last week's game. Georgia Southern 4 for 9 on third downs. It's 3rd and 9 with 6:35 and counting remaining. Georgia Southern with a 3-point lead over Georgia Tech. They have outscored the Yellow Jackets 28-0 in the second half. Upshaw swings it out of the backfield over to Breida. Breida has a first down. And Georgia Southern keeps it going.
Great second effort by Matt Breida. What a great job. It looked like the Georgia Tech secondary had him down. They rallied to the ball. Georgia Tech's guys do a great job getting there. Just really good. Watch this receiver block him. Just fighting.
Blocked by Derek Keaton. Ted Roof telling us yesterday, got to tackle. And that time, some missed tackles before Davis made the final stop. 1st and 10. Just shy of midfield. Here's Upshaw. Big play there into Yellow Jacket territory. And Milton makes the stop. And a gain of 14. And Georgia Southern, folks, is rolling in the second half.
Fabian Upshaw, great foot speed. We've watched him throw the football very effectively today. You know they have confidence to have him in the game at this point.
First season in FBS in the Sun Belt Conference. And they got some good ones in the Sun Belt. With Louisiana Lafayette, Arkansas State, you got Georgia Southern here up by 3 on the road in Atlanta. Ramsby straight ahead and just wearing down that front of Georgia Tech.
Absolutely. You got a tired defense right now. You probably got a tired offense too, Matt. They've been on the field a long time. But the combination of Matt Breida and L.A. Ramsby's been special for Georgia Southern all day.
They changed up that tempo, going no huddle, and it's changed things up at a first down here. Oh boy, if you're Ted Roof right now, you're thinking, oh man, we gotta get us one right here, get us a stop.
Well, this is one of those deals, Matt, where the call isn't going to make the difference. The player's got to make plays. Somebody's got to step up and make the big play.
Georgia Southern, impressive here. Willie Fritz got his team storming out in the second half. On the road here at Bobby Dodd Stadium in their first ever meeting. And then goes to Upshaw here. Upshaw. That time. Yep. No, they're going to call it incomplete. They're going to call it incomplete. Yeah. Incomplete.
Yeah, we talked about pitching the ball late, and sometimes that ball gets pitched forward. Generally, you worry about that, but when the thing does get pitched forward, I don't know. That's close.
That is.
That's really, really close.
Play is under review.
Did Georgia Tech get on it? That'll be a key. Immediate recovery, it can be your ball if they rule that was a lateral. So Georgia Tech will have it depending on the ruling, whether it's overturned or not.
Golden got a piece of it, and Keshawn Freeman, the true freshman, was the one that jumped on it, beating Ryan Longoria there. But was it a forward pass, or as you mentioned, Coach, a lateral? Play is under review, and this one going to be a big one with 4:12 to go.
Well, the way they do passes in the flat, Matt, if you throw like a flat pass that could turn into a double pass where the wide receiver could throw it on down the field, the ruling is if it's not obviously forward, it's a backward pass.
And remember, you need indisputable video evidence. Indisputable video evidence to overturn.
Actually, I guess the ruling, the way it would be, it has to be obviously be backwards. So that might be here if they can't obviously see that it's backwards. I tell you, that one looks like he's on the stripe and pitching it straight down the stripe, doesn't it?
Yes, it
You
does.
look at the yard marker.
So
too close to call. I think one of the issues will be they ruled it forward, so whether they would change it right there.
You need indisputable video evidence.
And a great defensive play by Georgia Tech. We just talked, Matt, that somebody needed to come up with the play. Once in a while, Jamal Golden gets his hand on that thing. And, you know, sometimes as a defensive coordinator, Ted Roof, you might be making great calls, but if the kids aren't making plays, it doesn't matter. So in this case, somebody stepped up. Jamal Golden stepped up, made a play. We'll see whether it works out for him or not, but it's still a great defensive play by Georgia Tech.
Ted Roof, the defensive coordinator, it's that kind of hot. The reason for the towel. And hopefully that one has been soaked in ice water. Dennis Redding, the replay official, taking the necessary time because this one is a big one here.
Yeah. I know Ted's a little bit.
After review, the quarterback released the ball at the 27-yard line. The ball was first touched also at the 27-yard line, resulting in a backwards pass. Georgia Tech recovered the football at the 28-yard line, first down.
That's what it looked like, Matt.
Yep.
That's what we thought.
Stadium erupts. Released at the 27, recovered at the 27, and Jamal Golden, you see him now walking over to his sideline saying, let's go, big time play, and then the true freshman Freeman comes in and jumps on it. Released right there. And a good job by the replay crew led by Dennis Redding. A big play.
It's good to get it right. You know, I'm not a big fan sometimes of replay with game delays, but it's always good when you can get it right.
Absolutely. So here we go, 4:12 to go in the fourth. Tech down 3. Lasky straight up the middle.
Going to the big guy. 3 timeouts left, Matt. They can be a little patient with 4 minutes. Not too patient, but they can be a little bit patient.
Deion Stanley comes in and makes a stop. B.J. Bostic into the game.
Deion Stanley's made some plays today.
Smelter up high. Waller, the wide receiver, bottom of your screen. Hill in motion. They give it to Hill. Hill close to a first down. Did he get it? And it appears as though he's right there. And it is a first down for Georgia Tech with 3:34 to go. 38-35. Willie Fritz taking over this storied program and bringing it into the FBS.
Almost the same position they were in against NC State, man. Almost an identical situation. They get a stop, they get a chance to win it.
Thomas. Here's Thomas out on the edge. Makes the pitch. The pitch to B.J. Bostic, and he's got another first down. And Antonio Glover comes over and makes the play.
Tell you what, it looks to me like Justin Thomas has got a little extra bounce in his step right here. Freezes that outside backer, gets the pitch on the perimeter. Great play by Justin Thomas.
Tony Zenon comes in with the call. And out of the huddle, here comes Thomas after a pickup of 11. Dennis Andrews laid word of instruction from his quarterback, and Lasky straight up the middle, and Battle turns him back around. And Battle has been big inside. Jonathan Battle and Jay Ellison, they've done a great job inside for Willie Fritz.
No question. They've held points. We talked about it. You know, you talk about an undersized defense with Georgia Southern. Those two guys are not undersized. Those guys bring it down inside. They've really done a good job holding the point and forcing things to bounce.
And although there's that size advantage up front, plus 25 on average for that line, not Georgia Tech.
Yeah, not on those two.
No. Here's Thomas. Goes deep. And Smelter stumbles.
Thomas's pass incomplete.
Cooper was there covering with a 1:57 to go. 38-35, Georgia Southern.
It looked like they had something going there, Matt. It looked like Smelter had a couple steps and lost his footing. I don't know whether he got tripped up with the defensive back.
3rd and 7 for Paul Johnson's Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. Big halftime lead, but Georgia Southern has come alive in the second half. Thomas trying to keep it alive with his feet. He's got a first down, and he runs out of bounds to stop the clock with 1:50 to go, and his team down by 3.
Edwin Jackson had a chance to chase him down. A great linebacker, but you just a really good pursuit angle. Just not going to catch Justin Thomas. Got the 6', 230 linebacker chasing Justin Thomas. I can tell you who's going to win that foot race.
Justin Thomas. And take a look at the time of possession between the first and second half. Thomas, and the give, straight ahead, Lasky just pounds it forward.
Well, you talk about being patient. Give it to the big guy.
Second down and 4. Ball on the 30-yard line.
Daniels. Georgia Southern on the sideline looking on. As you mentioned, they've been here before with the lead on the road at the home of an ACC team. 1:20 to go. Here's Thomas. Thomas tucks it. Thomas straight ahead. Breaking tackles. Dobson now dragging him down. And what a run by the sophomore Justin Thomas straight ahead.
Great call by Paul Johnson, running the quarterback draw, putting the ball in your best player's hands, a guy that's been dynamite all day long, and giving him a chance to make a play with his feet.
Battle is down.
Looked like a couple of Georgia Southern guys collided. It's like an ankle maybe.
Battle is down, being attended to. 38-35. We have a break in the action. 1:07 to go. Georgia Tech football. Georgia Southern comes through. Ellison turns up for Ellison. Has the seam. Has the end zone in sight. Goes up top. What a over-the-shoulder grab by B.J. Johnson. On the give to Ransby. Ransby into the end zone. Hold on, folks. We got a great one here. What a second half by Georgia Southern. Thomas trying to lead his team here with 1:04 remaining. Lasky straight ahead, pounding it. Just shy of the 11-yard line. 54 seconds and counting as Ellison and Williams make the stop. It's 2nd and 7 now.
Yeah, time's a little bit of a problem here, but Georgia Tech still has 3 timeouts.
Thomas looks over to Smelter and throws behind him. Clock stops. It's going to be 3rd and 7 with 32 seconds left, and Cooper on the coverage.
Yeah, I think they're just trying to get it out there and let the big guy kind of backdoor it, come off the backside of the defender, and the ball was underthrown.
3rd and 7, 32 seconds left. First ever meeting between the Yellow Jackets and the Eagles. Harrison Butker. He awaits. Thomas. Can he strike here? Under pressure. Gets away from Jackson. Fires on the run. Grab by Hill. Touchdown. The Ramblin' Wreck from Georgia Tech. 13-yard touchdown.
Great individual play, Matt, by Justin Thomas.
He keeps it alive with his feet as Edwin Jackson was trying to chase him and track him down. Let's take a look at the Z-Max performance play of the game.
Close to being a sack. Edward Jackson, their best defensive player, comes through. Justin Thomas with his feet makes a great play, gets the ball to Deion Hill. Nice catch, run into the end zone. Deion Hill, big play, great play by Justin Thomas.
Oh, Willie Fritz said, oh man, I felt this feeling a couple weeks back. And Paul Johnson looking around at the time. It's 41-38. Hill with his first touchdown of the season. Fifth-year senior Thomas on the day, 11-24, 3 touchdowns, 188 yards.
What I've been impressed with, Matt, Justin Thomas in this last drive just seemed to reach down and find another gear. I don't know where it came from, but when it looked like they were toast, he reached down and found it.
Bunker puts it right through the middle, 42-38, 23 seconds left. Paul Johnson told us about his quarterback. He said he's got that mentality, refused to lose. In crunch time, he wants it, and he showed it there, Coach.
He absolutely did. You talk about a leader, a winner, a guy with character, a guy the team can rally around. And I'm telling you what happened, Matt, when Justin Thomas took the field, those other 10 guys knew he could get him to the goal line. And what a great job. Great execution. This has been a game of two teams with character, just showing their will. Look at that play. Really nice by Justin Thomas, but what a nice catch by Deion Hill. I'll tell you, when it's crunch time, it looks easy to catch that football and run it in, but I'll guarantee you, when that ball was in the air, he was praying he was going to get his hands on it and run it in.
There's Georgia Southern have one more magical play in them. And that turnover, the only one of the game.
Yep. One thing I was thinking about, Matt, as we were sitting up here watching the end of that drive, you know, Paul Johnson showed a lot of patience running the football, and what he was able to do was bleed the clock down. You know, there's just 23 seconds left right now. Had they scored a little bit quicker, gives Georgia Southern more time, but Georgia Southern's going to have to really be up-tempo and deliberate right now in making plays. They don't have much time left.
Bunker to kick off. Keaton and Elvine back. Squib kick. Scooped up by the up back at around the 20. And Govan is brought down just on the other side of the 30.
Nardo Govan.
And Govan is down.
Made by Corey Griffin.
Corey Griffin with the tackle and a 13-yard gain. Thomas in that drive, Coach, in the air, 1 of 2, 13 yards, touchdown pass, that last one to Hill, and then on the ground, 3 carries, 26 yards.
Yeah, I know everybody, Matt, was impatient seeing Paul run the football, but you know, you gotta give it to Paul Johnson. I'm telling you, being patient, keeping the ball on the ground, put it in your best players' hands and see if you can win the football game. And now you've put Georgia Southern in a situation where they've only got 20 seconds left. The good news is Georgia Southern has 3 timeouts left. So if they complete a ball, they'll give themselves a little bit more time.
Folks, you may want to look away here as Govan, you see him plant that left foot and then goes down holding his left knee.
Yeah, it's tough. You know,
Nardo Govan, the junior from Garden City, went to Savannah Christian High School. 42-38 with 20 seconds left. And Georgia Southern, folks, they are an excellent football team. That is Jonathan Battle. He was great up front. You think about what they'll do in the Sun Belt. First year in FBS and going up to North Carolina State, scaring the Wolfpack, and then what Willie Fritz's team did last week, putting up big time numbers, and then you come in here, you get off to a slow start, Coach, and then able to get them all riled up at halftime, and they came storming out in the second half.
You know what this reminds me of, Matt, is when Marshall went from FCS to FBS, and everybody wondered, can they make that jump? Well, I think we're seeing today, there's no question Georgia Southern can make that jump.
Absolutely. Great tradition of football down in Statesboro, and Govan being helped off, and they have South Alabama down to Mobile, and then they take on App State at home. Folks from Boone will be traveling there at New Mexico State, Idaho, and then they'll be back here in Atlanta against Georgia State and Trent Miles' team. 42-38. Govan being helped off of the field.
Yes, I hate to see Nardo Govan hurt. He was the up back in the kicking game, and you typically don't get to return, kicks. And he just planted wrong and hurt his knee. Hopefully it's not too bad.
42-38. 20 seconds left here. And we thought we were going to have a good one here. And Paul Johnson, his team, they travel to Blacksburg, take on Virginia Tech. Then it's Miami, Duke at home, up to Chapel Hill, and then they'll take on Paul Chryst' team in Pittsburgh. And Pitt Panthers were able to travel to Chestnut Hill last week and take care of business against Steve Adazio and the Eagles. Fabian Upshaw is in. 1st and 10. 42-38. Georgia Tech with the lead. Out of the pocket, Upshaw. And Breida, I'm surprised he didn't try to get out of bounds as he tried to cut it back up inside, Coach.
Yeah, they got 3 timeouts, so they're able to call it on the sideline. Willie Fritz is able to get the timeout right away, but yeah, if you were out of timeouts, you'd have to get out of bounds. I don't know that Matt was thinking like a coach, though.
You know, even if you have the 3, it's just burning a couple of extra seconds.
Great point. Great point,
just a couple extra seconds.
I agree. And it looked like he may have stepped out before 10 seconds. It might have given him a couple more seconds, but he'd gone straight out of bounds.
Coming up next, voice of the ACC, Wes Durham has the call as Kansas and Duke will go at it. And up in Durham. First and 10. 10 seconds left.
You see Paul Johnson trying to get his corner to back up. I think Ted wanted him to junction the wide out and not let him get a free release. And Paul's wanting him to get back. He didn't want to let anybody behind him here, and I don't blame him a bit.
Golden's back at the 30. Corey Griffin, the redshirt freshman, back there, and a big arm broken up, and a big-time play by D.J. White, the junior, comes up huge there. 5 seconds left. Pass intended for B.J. Johnson.
We talked to D.J. yesterday. What a great kid. And we watched him get beat on the far sideline on a deep ball. He bounces back, makes a great play when it counts. Really fine football player, leader for this defense.
How about this? East Carolina 21-14 with 6:31 remaining. Virginia Tech, after knocking off the Buckeyes of Ohio State last week, in trouble at home. And of course, coming up, Kansas and Duke. With Wes Durham and James Bates. We've had a great one here in Atlanta. 2 good football teams. And Willie Fritz gets his team down. 42-38, 5 seconds left. Griffin's backed up. Milton's backed up. Golden and White. Back White and Griffin are at the goal line. And 5 seconds remaining here at Bobby Dodd Stadium. Upshaw with time lets it fly. High in the air, sailing shy, and broken up by Jamal Goldman. He's made some great plays. And Jamal Goldman, the junior, breaks it up. And this one will end as Goldman and the Yellow Jackets break the hearts of Georgia Southern. Willie Fritz and Paul Johnson to meet there in the first ever meeting. Paul Johnson, former head coach, led them to 2 national titles down in Statesboro. 42-38. Coach, pleasure working with you.
Thank you, man.
Great job. And I'll tell you what, we had a great one. Thanks so much for joining us. Our final score from Bobby Dodd Stadium, Georgia Tech 42, Georgia Southern 38. Great job by our crew. Scott Snyder, legendary Lonnie Dale, our director. Coming up next, Kansas taking on Duke. For Jim Grove, our entire crew, I'm Matt Devlin. We now leave you with today's final.